Prasad Karande sir is going to conduct this session. On behalf of Government Polytechnic Thane, I welcome you, sir. I would like to give
Thank
introduction
you, ma'am.
about. Welcome, sir. Sir, currently working as associate professor in mechanical engineering department at VGTI Mumbai. His area of academic interest are industrial engineering, decision science, supply chain management. Sir is life member of Indian Society for Technical Education, life member of Institution of Engineer, and member of International Society on MCDL. Sir has 6 major academic publications. Sir has presented 13 papers in international and national journal and 8 papers in conferences. Sir also published 1 patent. Then he guided 6 ongoing PhD research scholar and 7 MTech research scholar and 5 are ongoing. For revenue generation, sir worked for consultancy testing assignment or undertaken in last 5 years are the trailer design checking for Transport Commissioner, Mumbai, Maharashtra. Sir organized 1 week short-term training program on advanced data analysis and decision making under Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya National Mission on Teachers and Teaching Scheme of Ministry of Human Resource Development, MHRD, New Delhi, Government of India, 2020. Sir invited for a resource person on STTP on research methodology and its application at Government Polytechnic Thane in 2018. Also invited as an expert during STTP on advanced data analysis and decision making at VGTI Mumbai in 2020. So once again, on behalf of Government Polytechnic Thane, I welcome you, sir. And now I hand over the session to Dr. Prasad Karande, sir. Sir, please proceed.
Thank you, ma'am, for a nice introduction, and good morning to all. Good morning. I see some known faces. Good morning, Salande sir. Thank you for inviting me for this session, incredible session, and I'm very, very happy to see that now the lot of participants now they have responded to this course, and we will see during this 1 hour how we can focus on now what are our objectives. So I will be starting with my presentation now for today, which is based on the content design and examination question paper specifically design. What cares now we should take and why this is important now for us. I hope you can see my presentation. Is it visible?
Yes, sir, visible.
Okay, thank you, and I hope I'm audible to all of you. Now, the first question is that now as far as this NBA accreditation course is concerned, then why this topic I have chosen? The need for recently there was one examination policy which was developed by AICTE, the apex body of engineering education in India. And they have given many changes as far as our assessment systems are concerned. If you see the requirement of need of assessment, that is not only to grade the students, but to see that now how much skills are developed during these students. And the only way to assess the development of skills during the students now is through assessment. And so we have to look towards this assessment system, whether that assessment system now is appropriate now for changing needs of the society and industries. Now, why me for this topic? Now, this is what is the background and need for the topic. Now, as far as me is concerned, I'm as ma'am said, now yes, I'm working in academics now at VZTI. At the same time, I'm also handling the charge of controller of examinations at degree, where we are now assessing about 4,000 to 5,000 students per year. I'm also working on the examination audit committee of ICT Mumbai, and I'm also working on the examination committee of the Sardar Patel College of Engineering. So all these 3 institutes now which are good institutes now of Mumbai, which are autonomous institutes. So I'm closely related with the academic syllabus and especially examination systems now of these institutes. As far as VZTI is concerned, now most of the curriculum committees now they are headed and represented by the professors from IIT. So we are now moving parallel with the IIT, and so recent changes I know, and so that is what I think I am the appropriate person for discussing now this issue as far as now discussions with the faculties are being concerned. Now we all know that the things are changing. We all know that now the globalization, now this word has now become very old, and now there is no any boundary as far as now the engineering is concerned, and engineering institutes are concerned, engineering education is concerned. There are profound changes now as far as now the world we have seen now as if you consider any engineering field, maybe mechanical engineering field, civil engineering field, electrical engineering field. Now these boundaries of like mechanical or civil, these are diminishing. Now these are now the becoming now the very faint, and we need to use now the many things now which are now the interrelated. Many years back now we have started with electromechanical concepts, and today now these concepts are also going back, and we need to learn something like artificial intelligence. We need to learn something like machine learning, and we have to integrate now our old systems now with these new systems now which can be controlled now using computers, programs, and some robotics and artificially. So that is need, and so we have to think that now whether we are changing as per the requirement of the society, whether we are changing as per the requirement of industries, and whether we are educating our students now as per needs, whether we are now creating our students now to sustain these pressures of industries, and are they capable to fulfill their requirements. Now one thing is that now how this can be done. Now one thing is that not to change our syllabus, that usually many times we do it, but along with that now if suppose the skill set requirements are changed, if the requirements are changed, then whether we have changed the assessment norms now of these required skills, now that is a big question. And so we have to look at that problem now in that perspective. Now when this problem was now they discussed now at national level, then they have come with the reforms in examination policy, which is published by AICTE, and we can refer that. Now, what are changes now the requirements now the engineering system? Now these are what when I study to this engineering education worldwide, or when I look to this problem, then I realize that now these three things are required. Now what we are teaching, that is content design, then how to teach, that is knowledge delivery, and third thing, and which is more important now as per my perception, is how to assess now these students. Now whenever we are designing content, now we go for doing some surveys. Now we do the surveys with industries, we do the surveys with the academic experts, we do the surveys now with the societies, and we find out now some objectives now which should be achieved at the end of the engineering education. We may call it as POs or POs, that is program objectives, and we deliver the knowledge now as per the requirement of these program objectives. Now the third thing is that now to see that whether this program objectives are achieved or not, that is very important thing. And if we are not doing that, then definitely there will be less demand for the students, and we will be facing now the severe problems which we are already facing. We know that now since last many years now we are now facing problems for the employability of our students. We are and subsequently we are facing the problems for getting admissions to engineering, or we are facing the problem for the demand of engineering. Now if you look at this problem, that why it is happening, then we need to introspect. We need to introspect now whether we are competent to deliver them whatever is required. Now as far as now suppose if you consider the example of mechanical engineering. Now mechanical engineering is becoming absolute in the sense. Now CI engines, IC engines, these areas are becoming absolute, and it is being replaced now by some electrical technologies, electronic technologies, or computer related technologies. So as far as our curriculums are concerned, we must look into this matter, that whether we are teaching them artificial intelligence, which is obviously used now in the industry. Now people are now saying industry 4. Now people are talking about industry 5. Industry 4 is also losing its innovativeness now as far as now the latest industries are being considered. Whether we are competent, whether we are teaching them, whether we are teaching them now the computer controls, whether we are teaching artificial intelligence to them. So this is what now we have to look at. And the most important thing is that now if we are teaching, then are we assessing them now as per requirement of these industries, whether we are, our examination systems are able to analyze whether these skills are inculcated during these students. So that is what is my concern. Now, as far as these initiatives of government are concerned, now these are some of the things now which government has done. Government has become now very serious on this matter. Now you might have seen that there are very changes now during education policies now during last now the few years. And what is the outcome of that? Now that need to be looked into. AICTE has given model curriculum in which now they have designed a model curriculum. They have suggested now with some courses which are designed based on the skill set now required for the students. There are digital initiatives of MHRD and AICTE now by providing massive MOOCs courses now through SWAYAM. Whether we are now using that. AICTE is also saying that now the 20% of the syllabus you should cover from the MOOCs courses. So the best available resources now they can be utilized, and based on that now our credits were reduced from 194 to 160 or 162. Even in between the student teacher ratio was reduced, and the reason behind that was that we should be going for now these type of resources. We should not only depend upon the traditional sources of knowledge, and it should be free, and it should be uniform, it should be equal to all the students now, irrespective of the institute now in which now they are being admitted. Now then AICTE has come up with the examination reforms policy, which has recently come, not old, more than I think 2 years. And all these policies now you can get through this link. Now they have provided the link, and I think most of you are aware about that now, since now you are now related with the academicians. Now this is what is my opinion. Now what I think is that now the assessment drives learning. If you think on now this para frame, why this is, or is it really like this, or if it is, then why it is like that? If you look at the students' attitude, or I may not be wrong if I say towards to faculty's attitude also. Now whether learning is driven by assessment, and to my knowledge now I'm saying that now yes, now it is driven by the assessment, and which should not. Learning should not be driven by assessment. Learning should be driven by the requirements, skill sets, knowledge, and this is what is happening. And so we are now not getting the expected results. That is what is my perception as far as now this problem is being concerned. What and how students now they learn depends to a major extent on how they think now they will be assessed. So this is what now is one quote now which I have referred from one of the research papers, internationally reputed journal publication. And so this is fact. So I also agree with that. The question papers now that require simple memory recall will not ensure deep and meaningful learning, and the assessment or examination now they must now be evade now those high expectations for learning to ensure that the learner is motivated to attain them. This is what is required. And we need to think in that direction. We need to introspect in that sense that now whether is it really happening? Is it the fact that now these learners or students are motivated to attend them? The question is that now whether students know what are our program objectives, whether students know what are my course objectives, whether he knows that now what I should be able to do after learning this course. And so that is what is important now as far as my experience now during this academics now for about this 20-25 years is being concerned. And many times now what happens that now we technocrats now don't give much importance to this all teaching, learning processes, management, and then we think that now why it is required and all this is type of, but it is not like that. If you look at these objectives and then you see that now if you implement it, then you will see that now the tremendous now the changes will take place now during your deliveries, during your assessment processes, and the results now which you will be getting now that will be that will be fantastic. And so this is what is required, and that is what is my perception. Now, what are the important drives now for reinforcing examination policy of engineering education? Now, the first thing, the what government also has suggested is that now the OBE. OBE, we know all, this is adaptation of now the outcome-based education framework. Now, why it is required? The country now, this is actually required now as a requirement of now the Washington Accord. Now, Washington Accord, what is that? Now, this is a country now that wants to be a signatory member now of multinational agreement for the mutual recognition of engineering degrees. That is Washington Accord, and it must now be implement the outward now the based education. So this is necessity, this is compulsion for us. If our students now they need to be recognized now the world over, if they need now to be accepted by the world class universities for their higher studies, if they need to be accepted by the industries, then we should now accept the recommendations of Washington Accord. Yes, now the India has done that. India is the a signatory of Washington Accord, and because of that, the National Board of Accreditation (NBA), for which we are doing this session today, has made it mandatory for engineering institutes to adopt the OBE framework now for their curriculum design. Now, yes, now is it done in most of the institutes? Now, yes, now we say that now we have done this OBE. We have implemented now this curriculum in our curriculum, but the question is that now whether it is really reflecting now from our curriculum designs, and are they really now reflected now in our not only design and delivery, but is it really again now reflected now as far as assessment of the students now is being concerned. Now, this is what is required: objective mapping. Indian universities and colleges now they have started it OBE for their engineering education. However, the focus is limited to connecting curriculum now the components now to the program outcomes, and so this is missing. So question paper assessment now the part is missing. What I was saying, that now the very little attention is being given for connecting examination questions or assessment tools to the program outcomes, and the absence of proper mapping between the program outcomes and the assessment tools lead to inaccurate and unreliable measurement of the attainment of the outcome by the students. The overall objective is now is failing. We are missing now what we want to achieve and what we are achieving, and that is the gap. That is the major reason for today's situation. Now, if we think on, if we accept that today's situation is not good for engineering education is being concerned. Now this is what is now the mapping POs now to the assessment. Now the question is that now how to do that. Now we know that now we have GS, graduate attributes, now which articulate the generic abilities now to be looked in for a graduate. Now this is what is a big thing now which is usually done by all the affiliating bodies or the autonomous institutes now who are designing their syllabus now on their own. Then they form the program outcomes. Now yes, this is also done. The COs are also done. Teaching strategies, now the learning activities, assessment, and now the resources should all be designed and organized now to help students to achieve the learning outcomes. Now this is done, and for the effectiveness of the program, the achievement of POs now is crucial, which needs to be proven through accurate and reliable assessment. Now that is what is very important. Now, what is the process for bringing clarity now on POs? Now the POs now which give now the guidance for the program level, but they represent very high level of generic goals now that are not now directly measurable. That is the major problem. Now whatever now the goals now we are now designing and developing now are they achievable, and are they actually achieved? Now that we should look into, and this can be achieved now through the next two steps now which I'm stating here by competencies and performance indicators. Now what are the competencies now which are required? Now this is what now is some change now which we need to look into. That is what is my perception. Now competencies now these like demonstrate an ability to define a complex open-ended problem in engineering terms. Now we should not be depending upon the traditional questions now which are asked at the book or somewhere. So we have to develop that, we have to design that, and we have to go for the complex open-ended problems, actual problems which are being faced by the industries. Then demonstrate an ability to generate a diverse set of alternative design solutions. Now are they able to design alternative solutions? demonstrate an ability to select the optimal design scheme now the for further development, and whatever now the alternate solutions now they have designed, now are they able to choose the best of them, and demonstrate the ability to advance an engineering design to define and end state. So are they actually at design state, and can they solve the actual problems? Now that is what is required. Now as the time is limited, now we cannot go to all the competencies, and that is not my objectives, but I will be considering the second competency, that demonstrate an ability to generate diverse set of alternative designs, and this can be performance indicators. Apply formal idea generation tools to develop multiple engineering design solutions, build models, prototypes, algorithms to develop a diverse set of design solutions, and identify the functional and non-functional criteria for evaluation of alternative design solutions. Now, this we need to do. Not only we should look at the syllabus and teach that, but at the same time, now we have to look into that whether we are doing it, and whether now our students now they should be able to deliver now as per these expectations. Now, this is the way by which now the POs can be connected to assessment. What I am proposing is that now this POs now should be connected to assessment, so that the evaluation now they will give us some real picture. And this is one of the frames now which is now suggested by a committee who was appointed now by AICTE for giving guidelines regarding this examination policies. Now this is I have adopted now from their presentations. Now these are the program outcomes. Now this which we all know, these are the competencies which we have discussed now, which has to be developed during the students, and these are the performance indicators now which may be multiple. Now, these are some of the assessment tools now which are suggested. This is a continuous evaluation, then session end examination questions, then projects, labs, assignment, rubrics, and are we designing the rubrics for assignment of all these methods of assessment? Now that is to be looked into. Now, this is some suggestive list of some competencies and associated now the PIs now for each of the PO in mechanical engineering. Since I belong to mechanical engineering, I have considered this example. But anybody, irrespective of your specialization, can understand it. My intention is only to see that now how this linking now should be done, and how it now lead towards the assessment, so that now whatever analysis now we are doing, that analysis now will be fruitful, that will be having some meaning now for doing that. Now these are the competencies. Now suppose now the PO is now the engineering knowledge. Apply the knowledge of mathematics, science, and engineering fundamentals, and an engineering specialization for the solution of a complex engineering problem. So this is my program objective. And based on that, now we have designed some of the competencies. Now they demonstrate a competency in mathematical modeling, demonstrate competency now in basic sciences, demonstrate now the competencies in engineering fundamentals, and demonstrate competency in now the specialized now the engineering knowledge of the program. Now these are the 4 competencies now which are related as far as now this program objective of mechanical engineering is being considered. So we have covered now the almost now the all things now which are now the required now for nurturing a student now in mechanical engineering. So these are the indicators now which will indicate now whether these competencies are being achieved. Whether the students are able to apply mathematical techniques such as calculus, linear algebra, and statistics to solve the problem. Now this may vary now as per the requirement now of your curriculum. Whether the students are able to apply advanced now the mathematical techniques to model and solve mechanical engineering problems. As far as demonstrate competencies of basic sciences are concerned, now whether students are able to apply laws of natural science now to an engineering problem. That is what is now expected whenever we teach the basic science students. As far as now the engineering fundamentals are being concerned, now whether students are able to apply fundamental engineering concepts to solve engineering problems. And as far as now the specialized engineering knowledge courses are being concerned, whether students are able to apply mechanical engineering concepts to solve now the actual engineering problems, and that we have to look into. Now this is the way for improving now the structure and quality of the assessment. Now we have seen about the program outcomes, we have seen about the course objectives, and then we'll see that now what are different now the methodologies of assessment and how this can be improved, so that now the whatever problems now we are now facing today now can be minimized. So written examination now, which is the major role now, which we know that now this is the major component as far as now our assessment systems are being concerned. Now questions raised now in the examination or test paper play an important role in defining the level of learning the student is expected to achieve in the courses and hence in the program. Since the assessment drives learning, which I am saying, the design of question papers now they need to be beyond mere test of now the memory recall. That is what is required. We should not check now the how much now they can recall. As far as now the our question papers are concerned, most of the time we are not expecting students now to recall the formulas and use them. Many times now allow them now to use the formulas. So it is not expected. If it is available in the books, then what we think is that now why should they remember? What is important is that now they should know in which situation now this formula is to be applied. What is the specific domain area where which type of formulas are required and how he can optimize now his outcomes. That is what is required. And so we should give more focus on the application or design based papers instead of now they just recalling the memory. A wide range of assessment methods like term papers, open-ended now the problem solving assignments, course or lab project rubrics, portfolios, etc. now need to be employed now in this case. Now this is what is the expected assessment, right? It is now the advisable to formulate assessment plans for each of the course now in the program that brings clarity about what alignment of assessment with learning outcome of the course, level of learning, cognitive level the student is expected to achieve, and the assessment method now to be adopted. Now this is the best tool now which is now the used now for this assessment design. You know about this. I'm just now linking this or revising now this now for our curriculum design and assessment processes. Now, what is Bloom's taxonomy? This provides an important framework now to not only design the curriculum and teaching methodologies, but also to design appropriate examination questions. So this is what we are missing. Now, Bloom's taxonomy, yes, now the people do that. Now, before designing curriculum, we have some trainings, then we talk about Bloom's taxonomy. We talk about now how curriculum is to be designed. Even now we talk about now what type of questions now should be asked now. But when designing the question papers now this is what is missing. Now this was developed in '56 by Benjamin Bloom, and again now it was now modified now by Cathwohl and Anderson, and so now people use this modified the Bloom's taxonomy. Now this is what now these are the levels now which are now suggested by Bloom's taxonomy. Now they have divided now this levels of cognitive domain now which we based on which we can analyze our students now in 6 categories. First one is very basic, which is what is a remembering. Second is understanding. Third is applying. Fourth is analyzing. Fifth is evaluating, and sixth one is now the creating. Now, as far as now these basic levels are being concerned, maybe understanding, remembering, understanding. Now this is okay. Now, as school students are concerned, now we can expect that now yes, now they should remember and they should understand what is the thing. Now, as they grow on, now we go towards now the applying of these concepts now to the things. Yeah, maybe in Polytechnic now we expect that now they will apply and they will analyze to some extent. Now, as far as the higher educations are concerned, now we have to look towards that now whether they are now able to evaluate that. It is just something like now writing some review papers. Now actually review research papers now should be done at the end of expertise. Now, when you think that now yes, I am expert now in this field, now you can go for writing some review paper, because at that time you can evaluate. You are just a beginner, and at that time now you cannot evaluate because now you don't know much about that, and so it is something like that. Evaluation from alternatives now which are studied, and the last page is that to develop that, to create alternatives, to create design solutions, to analyze them, and to adopt which one is best. That is what is required. So as far as now the our question papers are concerned, or are not only question papers but assessment systems are concerned, we have to see that now the which level questions are being framed now the while designing these question papers, and this is to be understood. Now consider now the some of the suggestive list for skills or competencies. Now the first skill is now the remember. This is the basic level. Now the skills demonstrated are ability to recall information like facts, then conventions, definitions, technical terms, etc., etc. Then we will see that now the ability to recall now the methodologies and procedures, principles, and now the theories now in this field, and abilities to knowledge of now the dates, events, places. Now this is what now the is the fact about the remember. And so many times even if you ask the definition, define this. Now this is just like a remember. This is remembering thing. This is not understanding. We do not understand now whether he has really understood now that definition, and which I think is more important as far as now the fields like engineering domains are being concerned. Remembering is as per my knowledge is not much important, because everything is available now. Everything is available at finger point. If this is available at the finger point, then why should they recall all the fundamental definitions? And we should not ask these questions that define this, define his definition, define second definition, define third definition. Now what we will be analyzing by that? What is the objective, and what we will assess that now what skill he has developed. He has developed the skill of remembering the things, and which is not important now which I suppose as far as now the engineering applications and engineering domains are being concerned. And so this type of questions now the should be avoided as far as higher levels of skill assessment now the is being concerned. Now the second level is now the understanding level. Now the skill demonstrated are understanding information, grasp meaning, translate knowledge into new context, then interpret now the facts, then compare now the contents, order groups now infer now the causes, predict consequences. Now these verbs will be like describe, explain, paraphrase, restate, associate, contrast, summarize, differentiate, interpret, discuss. Now here we will understand that now whether the student has really understood the concept. So this level is again second level, and what we recommend is that now they should be also minimum as far as now our question papers are being concerned. The third level, which is again important, is that now the application of the domain knowledge. Whether he is now able to use that information, whether he is able to use the methods, concepts, laws, theories, whether he is able to solve problems on the using required skills or knowledge, and whether he is demonstrating correct usage of now the method or procedures. We can ask them the questions like calculate, predict, apply, solve, illustrate, use, demonstrate, determine, model, then experiment, now show, examine, modify, etc., etc. So whatever problems now we are now asking, now these problems are being apply level. So whatever analytical problems are there, now these are apply level. Yes, but they can also be at analysis level or a design level. As far as analysis level, fourth level is concerned, now we can see that now broke down a complex now the problem into parts, identify the relationship and interaction between the different parts of the complex problem. We can ask them the questions like now the classify, outline, breakdown, then categorize, analyze, then diagram, illustrate, infer, or select. Now these type of now the questions now can be asked now to see that whether now that student now is able to analyze now that this type of questions. Next level is now the evaluation level. Now where now we will see the skills of now the compare and discriminate now between idea, assess values of the theories, presentation, make choices between the reason, argument, verify value of now the evidence. No, we will see that now whether he is able to evaluate that. Now the first thing is that if he is not understood, if he is not able to apply it, then he will not be able to evaluate that. And so we can ask the questions like now the assess, decide, choose, rank, grade, test, measure, defend, recommend, convince, select, judge, support, conclude, argue, justify, compare, then summarize or evaluate, and this level, next level is to create. Now this is really important level now, where we can now verify the questions now with the verbs like design, formulate, build, invent, create, compose, generate, and derive, modify, develop, and integrate. Now derive also not like now we derive the derivations which are already given there. That is also memory question. And so this is what is more important as far as now the curriculums and the question paper designs are concerned. Now this is what is expected. Now if you see these are the learning objectives, then assessment thoughts are assessed thoughts are like this. Now this can be achieved by course projects, this can be achieved by mini projects, this can be achieved by major projects and capstone projects. So this is what is expected. What is expected in assessment is now the instead of now the uh, going for the traditional methods uh, teaching and learning. Now we should concentrate now on whether we are designing the questions which are or we are taking examinations now which are course project based, whether we are now designing mini projects, whether we are giving them minor projects, whether we are giving them capstone projects, or there is a fixed hour examination which can be based on continuous evaluation or semester examination, which will be applied, which will be analyzing only these skills. Now what happens now, whenever we are now conducting only end semester examinations or continuous evaluation, now we are now checking these skill sets. So what about these skill sets which is actually required now in the industries? So that is what is missing somewhere, and that is what now when students are going to the industries, then we are finding that now yes, now there is a gap in the expectations and their skill sets now they required. And so we have to while designing our question papers now we have to see that. Now one thing which I'm suggesting is that now the yes, now the as you see here, that now the fixed hour examination, now the importance of this should be reduced. As far as now our curriculum is concerned, now in VJTI now we are giving now the 60% now the weightage to our end semester examination. 20% weightage is given to mid sem examination, and 20% now is continuous evaluation. Actually this pattern now we have adopted for 40-60. So 40 will be continuous evaluation, and 60 should have been in semester examination. But we are facing some practical difficulties and problems, and we have to come back to this system. So the thing is that now whether our systems are capable to adopt these changes, and if not, then we have to make these changes. We have to develop now if you are talking about now the OBE. Then for OBE or project-based learning, we have to change our all everything now. From classroom to our laboratories, now everything needs to be changed. We have to make groups of now the small 10 students, 15 students, and then we have to give them actual problems, and then we have to teach them. As far as this project-based learning now, which again now we were talking, or in between now there was a lot of discussion on that project-based learning. Yes, now this few of the universities now in the world, few have adopted now this project-based learning. The concept of project-based learning is like that. Now you give them the problem, actual problem, design problem, choosing problem, which will be based on this higher learning levels, like maybe creative or evaluating and analyzing, and give them project, and based on that now you ask them to study on their own, and now start now solving this problem. Now the major problem is that now whenever now you want to ask them such type of assessment, you want to implement such type of assessment tools, now whether we are having the infrastructure. We have to make the batch size of now 5 or 10 students, and we have to give them now the projects now in a batch of 4 students, 5 students each. We have to give them space, we have to provide them everything, we have to provide them materials now for the projects, and whether now it is now possible. And then if we consider now our Indian education system, our classes of about 80 students, and then it becomes now very difficult. Okay, if there are problems, then that does not mean that now we should go for project-based learning for all courses, but for 1 or 2 courses we can implement, or even if not, then assessment systems now they can be concentrated on the project-based learning, mini project-based learning, now which will be continuously evaluated and monitored and that we should be look into this. Now this is one of the methods now the which has to be considered now the as far as now the assessment systems are being considered. Now the open book examinations. Now we know that now this since last 1 year now during this pandemic, now we are now the conducting examinations which are online examinations, and proctoring is becoming difficult, and in that case now this is the better option. Now at Visit now we have implemented open book examination for 2 courses at the beginning, and now we are not proctoring during our examination, but we are designing question papers now this in such a manner that they will not be googleable. The students will not find the answers now the which can be obtained now the from their notes, or which can be obtained now the readily now the from the internet sources, but we have to take a lot of efforts for that. And so our question papers are mostly on application based. Now these are some like now the small projects, like if you consider now the suppose I am teaching supply chain management. In supply chain management, instead of now the asking memory based questions or analysis based questions, now in this pandemics now we are giving the questions for designing some supply chain. We are now giving them different domain areas to different students and asking them now consider the geographical areas now of some particular state or country or whole world, and you select now some of the locations now where from material will be transferred to some locations at manufacturing places. We can give them some of the locations of manufacturing plant. We can give them now the markets, and we can ask them now design supply chain for that. And if they are able to do that, then what else is required as far as now these skill sets now are being considered. And so we have to see that these examination systems are changing now as per the requirement. Yes, we have changed our assessment systems now during 1 year now whenever this pandemic has come, or whenever now we have to change for the examination system. Yes, now at the beginning we were also not ready, but in second examination now we have done a lot of changes, and we have seen that now again we have come to the expected now the results now which we were doing now earlier this pandemic. Now these are the advantages of open book examination. This is less demanding on memory, and hence now the less stressful. So we don't ask any question now which are now the memory based. We can give the real problems. If you are in civil engineering, now give them a problem of small some street design, or something like a small building design, or something like now some any small project now where they need to do leveling and something like that. So that can be given. You can increase the marks. Instead of now asking 5 marks and 10 marks questions, now you can give a project for 50 marks during this time. So which will be able to analyze now the higher skill sets now whether they are developed during the student. And if they are able to do that, then what else is required? That is what is industry is expecting for that. That is what now we have to look into that, and this will help us to see that now this is achieved. Now questions now can emphasize now the more on problem solving, application of knowledge, and higher order thinking rather than now the simple recall fact. And assessment now the questions now they can reflect real life situations that requires comprehension, information retrieval, and synthesizing now the skills of the students to solve the problem. That is what now is required. Now as far as this is concerned, now the question is that now the why this we are discussing now as far as now the NBA is concerned. Now see, as far as now the NBA accreditation is concerned, we know that now every organization now has to go for NBA accreditation at some point of time, and then we have to look towards now usually what we do now. Then we usually look at the syllabus, and we see what are our course objectives, what are our program objectives, and then we go for now the mapping. See, this is one of the requirements now of NBA accreditation. We have to map our COs and POs. Now usual practice or usual our problem is that now whenever now we have to face the NBA accreditation, then we collect now all these information. Then we go for now seeing now whether now our COs are mapped with the POs, and we have to fix the map, and we have to show that now the yes, now it is achieved. And then we see that now the yes, अरे आपने तो program objectives and COs map कैसे करने का? So the problem is that now we have to see that now the from the questions which we have said, हमारे questions को then we go to see that now the this question now is fitting to which course objective, then we come to know that now the अरे ये तो कहाँ fit ही नहीं हो रहा है. If you see that now if suppose now the question papers are designed, then we first of all find the CO COs, and then if you try to fix this now the COs or map these COs with POs, then question comes that अरे इतने तो POs तो achieve ही नहीं हो रहा है, isn't it? And then we do some mathematical analysis, then you use some smart tricks, and then we fix it into the table, and we try to show the committee that now the yes, this much is achieved. But my perspective, what I'm telling you is that now we must change now this way of looking towards now this COPO mapping. Now this really is a requirement. Now if you take this care at the beginning of the content design, or at the beginning of the examination question paper design, then this problem will be solved. We should not do look at this problem that this is one of the requirements of NBA, which we must look at this, that this is the requirement for making our students more acceptable to the industry. We must look at now this as one of the tools now which will make our students now the more sellable in the market. They will be getting the more demands into the market, and we should change to make it as an exercise, as a prerequisite or requisite now of NBA accreditation. But we should make a habit of that. We should make a habit to see that now whether these course objectives are really achieved. Otherwise, there is no meaning in doing all these things. And obviously, now we will be teaching now something which is absurd, which is not required. We will be getting now our perks now as per our norms, and we will not come to know what is happening with our students. And definitely now if they are not acceptable to the industry, definitely there will be question to our acceptance also. If our students are not acceptable, then we are also not acceptable to our industries. We will not be acceptable to our institutes, and definitely a time will come now whether we will be facing a very severe problem. So the major contribution now which could be given now in this regard is looking towards now this achievement of the objective. So as far as examination patterns are concerned, the assessment systems are concerned, what I think is that now if we are looking towards this system as achievement now with some sincere thoughts, then probably now we can help to solve this problem now into one direction. Now this is about some again open book examination. Now set questions now that require students to do things now with the information available to them. So we are not concentrating on what information sources they are using. More weightage to application of knowledge, critical thinking, and use of resources for solving real complex engineering problems. As the nature now of questions is complex, now this is now to be ensured that the student now gets now enough time. Open book now the test questions now they typically take longer time. Now you can give them 4 hours, 5 hours. You can give them even half a day. Let them refer now anything what they want to do, and let the design. So this way we have to change. Now we have to remove from our mind that now we have to conduct end-sem examination of this method. We have to remove from our mind that now ये 3 घंटे का होना चाहिए, उसमें इतने questions होने चाहिए, उसमें ये level होना चाहिए. Remove that. You give them problem and ask them to submit now by tomorrow, and see that now whether they are now able to do that. So nothing wrong in that. If these skill sets now are developed in that, that is what is the objective, and what I personally think is that now that will help to solve this problem. These are some of the references now which I have used now for making this preparation. I'm taking 5 minutes now to show now what we are now doing and what actual problems now we are now facing as far as now the VJTI is concerned. Now, are we facing this problem? Yes, we are also facing this problem. Yes, we are also doing most of the times now like this. Whenever NBA comes, then we are now trying to match our COs with the POs, and then we are now facing the problems. Now in this regard, now when we face this problem, now we have made few changes now, as far as now our question paper designs are concerned. I'm showing you uh, one of the question papers now, which I have designed. Now this is for the supply chain management. Now yes, now this is, even if now we have said that now this is NSEM examination question paper now for again 100 marks. Yes, we have also designed some papers now, even if now we are saying that now we should go for higher skill sets now the question papers. No, we have to look at the equity, we have to consider now the level of all the students, and yes, now we have to include now some of the questions now which will be helping for what is that, weaker students now to pass in the subject. So we have to keep that into mind, and then we have to design the paper. See, what we have done is that now our all question papers now they are coming with the COs. So whenever we design question papers, now we also write the COs now in front of each question. So this question paper is given to the student. So students also know that now what are the skill sets now they required, what are the course objectives now which will be achieved from that. Then whenever we assess the question papers, now we get the question papers assessment, we give the marks to the students, we show the answers to papers to the students, and we display one mark sheet now the course marks report now which is given to the student, which contains that for each question now how much mark now he has got, and then he also knows that now what course objectives now I have achieved. So this data is available. We are processing our results now through MIS. So MIS takes care to find out that now what COs are achieved, and whether now this course objective is leading to the achievement of the program objective. Now I will again show what problems we are facing. I will show you our syllabus, and this is our syllabus. Now this is final year syllabus of the VJTI. Yeah, we have designed these POs are designed, then program outcomes POs are designed, then we have designed now this PSOs, program specific outcomes, and then we have designed also yeah, then this is my course, that's supply chain management. Now see, whenever this course is designed, now we have designed some course outcomes. Now the question is that now when I look at this question course outcomes, yeah, when I look at these course outcomes, the student should be able to evaluate the supply chain networks, estimate the total cost of different logistic models, evaluate now the various performance now the measures of supply chain management, to obtain solution for a variety of now the warehouse problems, and to integrate the supply chain now the using the IT solutions. So these are my course objective. Now actually problems, what happen, how the problem comes, whenever I want to design a question paper which will suffice for the achievement of all course objectives, and it's linking with the program objectives, then the real problem comes. So if I am designing my question paper not looking towards now these course objectives, then definitely my COs are not going to match with my POs. And so I have to take a lot of precaution while designing the question paper. I have to see that now I'm giving now the weightage for all the COs. First thing, all COs are being considered while designing the question paper. That I have to see. I have to again see that now these course objectives now they are linking with the program objective, because I have to see that now what is the course outcome, how much course COs are being achieved by the student, and when I combine now all these now the CO mapping with the POs, then I have to see that now this is PO is also achieved. So my all COs now they should be initially linked with the POs. So while designing your POs now we should take now the proper precaution that now yes, now these COs now whichever we have developed are related with the program outcomes, POs, and if I design a question paper, then this will be possible at least to link my COs with the POs. So this is what is important. So question paper design is not to sit and design some question papers which is not linked with the COs. So we have to see that now this is linked with the COs. We have to see that now we are now able to evaluate that now the course outcomes are achieved, and program objectives are also achieved. So I have shown you the example what is happening with my institute. Yes, we are also facing the problems now while designing question papers, or many times now it is difficult. Then we do that. But if you look at this problem, that not as again I am repeating this that don't look at COPO mapping as one of the requirements of NBA. Do it from the objective for which now it is incorporated now in this overall Indian education. This is very honest effort, and if you are doing that, I again hope that now the yes, most of our problems now which uh, we are facing, or which we fear to become now the serious now the in coming days, now they will be getting some help, and maybe solved. Now that's all as far as now the my presentation is concerned from my side. Now I think yes, now we are open for question and answer sessions.
Yes, participant, any questions are there? And you can put in chat box, or you can ask by unmuting yourself. Any questions?
Yes, thank you, my some of the friends, Shirish Dobe, Dr. Dobe. Thank you.
Yes, participant, any questions are there, that please ask in chat box. Otherwise, please type no questions or no query so that we can understand. Okay. Sir, no questions are there, sir.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, in between also, if you want to discuss now on some issues, then yes, now you can share my details. Now yes, that will be
Sure, sir.
good for me. No problem. Thank
Shall I
you.
conclude? So please wait, sir. So, sir, I discussed what are the problems regarding the question paper and the curriculum that gets occurred while doing the process of NBA. The changing requirement of engineering education is mainly based on three questions. The first is what to teach, which is based on content, how to teach, that is knowledge delivery, and how to assess, that is student learning. Then students can get the benefit of AICTE model curriculum, the digital initiative of MHRD and AICTE, that is massive MOOCs through SWAYAM, the AICTE examination reform policy. Then, so also discuss the assessment drives the learning. So assessment is very important. What and how students learn is depends to a major extent on how they think that they will be assessed. So while designing a question paper, our focus must be to connect the question or the assessment with program outcomes. We need to develop the competencies in students so that the students must solve the actual problem, and then only they are ready for the industry. The important drives for reforms in examination system is adoption of outcome-based education framework. He also elaborated on the importance of NBA for the institute. It is not for receiving the grants or fund from the government, but it is for developing the skills of students through teaching learning process effectively. We need to map the program outcomes while framing the question paper. So I also discuss the process of bringing the competencies in students, the methodology for connecting the POs to assessment. He suggests the suggested list of competencies and associated PIs for each of the POs by framing a table of competency and indicates and the respective indicators. Written exam assessment play major role in assessment. Then the assessment drives learning. The design of question paper must need to go beyond more taste of memory recall. The assessment methods includes term paper, term and examination, open-ended problem solving, assignment, the course or lab project, rubrics need to be employed. Then the Bloom's taxonomy is developed in 1956 by Benjamin Bloom for assessment design is very important. It is used design curriculum as well as for designing the question paper. There is a cognitive domain. It has 6 levels, that is remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. We need to take care of this. We need to take care of the different levels and what are the skill and verbs used in question paper. So also discuss that creating, evaluating, analyzing, and applying levels. For this, the assessment can be done through course project, mini project, minor project, and capstone project. And the fixed hour examination, that is NSEM examination and continuous evaluation. This is also this the levels used are applying, but understanding and remembering. The so also this open book examination, that is OBE, that is OBE is outcome based education, but in terms of exam, it's open book examination. It also plays an important role because for this it requires it is less stressful and the less demanding on memory. The open book exam can be executed effectively by giving the real life problem to students. The open book exam requires more time as compared to the traditional exam, but we can set a paper by giving us by reducing the number of questions to the students to achieve OBE effectively. So it also gives demonstration on the question paper design by including the CEO linking with each question in your question paper. So thank you so much, sir. On behalf of Government Polytechnic Thane, I am thankful to you for conducting the session on this question paper setting and designing, which is useful for analysis of NBA. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, can I ask the question to sir?
Now, sir left, sir. You can post that question in a WhatsApp group, sir. I will share with sir.
Okay.
Okay. Our next session will start in few minutes. Please wait. Yes, good morning, sir.
Hello.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Very good afternoon now. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Great. Great.
So let me give you introduction, sir. First.
Yeah. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So good afternoon to everyone. Our next session is based on stress management, and Mr. Mohan Kamath sir will conduct the session. Mohan Kamath sir is diversified experience with passion for service delivery and learning. In past close to more than 25 years have enjoyed working where status quo is challenged and strategic and innovative solutions are designed for breakthrough performance. His expertise lies in speed to understand any business, sector or operation and transforming same into profitable service by leveraging people and process and technology. He started with sale and service and later on management position across sectors like telecom, insurance, IT, shared services, pharmaceutical, infra services. Then he leads large teams up to 2,500 extended members. He has customer experience, the contact center, IoT solution, Process 360, retention, CSAT. His business turnaround through process, people, and innovative practices. He is also assessor for CII Exim Awards for Biz Excellence EFQM model. The success stories includes the internal auditor for Ranbaxy Labs for 5 years, then chief service delivery for Bharti Airtel for 5 to 6 years, then manager of quality or financial operation in American Express for 5 years. He's a director for Dell International for 1.5 years. Then also worked as senior vice president with Future General LIC for 3.5 years. He also worked as a consultant and trainer in Manford and Skillmart in leadership coaching and mentoring to help leaders achieve exceptional breakthrough performance assessment of people, process, and technology for 3 years. In training, build a skilling platform that is Skillmart Academy to provide quality training, online classroom, agnostic of service providers, and customizable to industry requirements and application orientation with EHS and other skills. Then he has done the graduation from Delhi University and did ICWA Inter and MBA in finance. In leadership, achieving breakthrough through result, Manford, certified from IIM Kolkata for effective managerial leadership. Then effective partner management with IIM Bangalore for managing outsourcing. Self and team management, communication, access to power and power to create landmark forum, theater-based workshop, emotional leadership, extended DISC, and ICABS MBTR. It process and change management, Six Sigma deployment leader, lean EFQM model for biz excellence, PMP, lead implemented IT, PIMS 27701, IRCA certified lead auditor QMS, and for OHMMS. So on behalf of Government Polytechnic Thane, I welcome you, sir. Now I hand over session to Kamit, sir. Sir, please proceed.
Oh, that was quite a bit of a long introduction, but to keep it very, very short, thank you, Varsha. I would just say that, having spent about close to 25 plus years with the industry, you have this question: are you really adding value to yourself as an individual or to the life that you have? And that's when the question took me across, which pushed me to step out of the industry to look for answers to lot many questions. And that's when I decided to start something on my own and get into consulting and training. So that's my journey, which took me. So I had a lot of questions when I started. Since childhood, and many got answered and many still remain unanswered, and we'll talk about it as we go ahead. So I would prefer if this training is interactive. So while I would share a presentation and I would talk a lot, but then I would prefer if you guys can interject with your questions anywhere, or whenever there are sections where there are any questions, we can talk about it. Yeah, does that work for you? Okay. So if this works for you, can you quickly put yes in the chat box so that I can start sharing the presentation? Yeah, thank you, Mr. Amar Sinha, thank you, Hussain, thanks Amol, thanks Professor Mandar, thanks Mr. Rampure, thank you so much, thanks Pranal. So I'm just sharing with you the presentation, just a second. Can you see the presentation? Hello?
No, sir, it is not visible.
Okay, just a second. Can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Great. Okay. Some help to get to your chat box. Okay. So a brief like Varsha Madam shared. So the idea of creating SkillMart was to only have a sustainable platform where multiple experts can come and share, and we have been fairly successful. We work with corporates, government organizations, institutions in sharing a lot of work that we do. And while we do that, Manford, these are our various partners. We also partner with Government Polytechnic in Thane in Mumbai. Then we partner with the Skill Development Ministry. We partner with people across Chennai, Bangalore. A lot of people are there. Institutions are there. Organizations are there. BSCIC is a certification organization. Manford is a behavioral sciences research organization into behavioral sciences for the last 25 years. So that's where when I stepped out from corporate, I was able to get a mentor like Mr. Anand David, who helped me get a lot of answers. And some of these sessions that we touch upon today is based on research work done by Manford, and I'll come to that. These are the other operational excellence trainings which we do in corporates. A lot of them are related to process systems and EHS areas. So we have a lot of experts. We have a team of 10-15 experts who are engaged in these trainings. Okay, so let's go to the subject for today, right? So what do we understand by stress? I mean, if each of you can quickly put what you understand by stress in the chat box, it will help me. What do we understand by stress? What's your understanding? You can quickly put one word, two word. What's stress to you? What's stress to you? Can you quickly put into the chat box what is stress? Burden on mind, unable to handle. Okay, I like that. But Mr. Hussain, what I would like you to expand further. I mean, what is it? What is it stress? I mean, is it just a new terminology which science gave us, people gave us, doctors gave us, or was stress something which was always there? We just started noticing when somebody said, "ये stress होता है," या आप ऐसा कुछ करते हो तो stress है. Unpleasant situation, thinking negatively. Okay, I like that. So these are some initial good, unable to meet deadlines. Very good. Yeah, considering something as a burden. Yeah, loss of physical and mental capability. Very nice. Good. I would like you to keep your thoughts with you while these are there, and I also want to park another question with you. Like, is there something different when we say stress for faculties? I mean, do you agree that stress for faculties is something different than the stress that any normal person can have? If you think so, you can put yes. Do you think faculties have some different kind of stress compared to other people or other professions? Okay, got it. So we have some people who do say yes to that as well. Fantastic. I love those answers. Okay, so let's understand stress a little more further. This is a very simple definition of stress, right? Simplest definition so that we can understand what it is. So stress is nothing but a feeling of emotional or physical tension, quite likely to what you just said. Although a lot of people touched upon physical part of it, but stress is more about a feeling and emotional, and that's why I have it in bold and red for you. And we'll touch upon that element a little more so that we understand what is stress. So it can come from any event, okay? So it is not necessary that stress has to be work related. I mean, you got up in the morning and you expected maybe a nice cup of tea by your bedside. It didn't happen. So something triggered in your mind, and that could be stress as well, right? So stress is more to do with feeling of an emotional part. It is not about anything physical alone, right? While it can be a physical tension as well, okay? But most of us generally we think it's more to do with physical aspects and less of emotional. So that's why I just wanted to stress that. So stress is a body reaction to a challenge or a demand. In short, bursts, it happens. Stress can be positive as well. So at times, stress can help you, avoid danger and meet a deadline. Because there is a deadline, you might want to start planning early and try to complete a deadline. So stress can be positive as well. So it is not always that stress is negative. Okay. So let's get one step more closer. How do you know that you have stress? Again, if you can just quickly use your chat box, how do you know? I mean, ये पता कैसे लगता है कि हाँ मुझे स्ट्रेस है? ये कैसे पता लगेगा? लाइक आपको अगर बुखार होता है, वी यूज अ थर्मोमीटर हम लगाते हैं, हमें पता लगता है 99, 100, 101 बुखार है. तो स्ट्रेस का कैसे पता लगेगा कि हाँ मुझे स्ट्रेस है? How do we know? Oh, you lose keys. Okay, that's an interesting one, Vinodji. Okay, you lose keys, misplaced papers. I like what Vishal also said, anger. Okay, is anger the only way for stress? Just think about it a little more, Gitanjali as well, right? Is anger the only emotion of stress, or there can be more emotions in stress? Sometimes a lot of people ignore it, but if you are just silent, you can still be stressed. Okay, you may not always vent out your emotion, because it is connected to emotions, and emotions are different for every individual, and the way we express is also very different for everyone. So stress can be expressed in multiple ways. Rampureji says brain more stressed, but how do you know? How do you know your brain is stressed? Is there a way to measure it? Pata kaise lagta hai? Okay, we feel frustrated. Yeah, these are feelings: anger, frustration. Same things are repeating in the mind. Yes, fantastic. That's a very good point, Amol, that you're bringing in. The mind starts racing with a lot of thoughts multiple times, right? And you're not able to control it, right? I'm very happy that you're recognizing these observations, right? Losing control. Parvezi, yes, fantastic. But losing control over what? What is the feeling? I want you to think and bring out points related to emotions and feelings. Because that's the only way to know that you have stress. The only way to know stress is the feelings and emotions. And if you are connected with your emotions and feeling, you will be able to recognize it very fast. Feeling restless, yes. Restless is a very good emotion. Unable to think what to do next. Fantastic. All these are fantastic and right. So I'll just share with you, this is what is the summary of emotional signs and stress, which is commonly listed. And like what you said, you will find a lot of points. What you guys already shared are already there. So these are some more emotional signs of stress. Depression, which is talked about a lot these days, but we don't know when there is a depression. So all what you said is an extension, if it is not checked or controlled, can take you to depression. So stress is just one of those emotions which, if not checked, can head towards depression. Yes, anger, irritability, restlessness, feeling overwhelmed, feeling unmotivated. I was surprised nobody mentioned that. Or feeling unfocused. I think some of you talked about it. Trouble sleeping. So if you're feeling sleepless, like somebody said, or racing thoughts, this is a very uncommon. I normally don't get it in a session where people, but today I'm happy that somebody, I think Amol, shared that you have multiple racing thoughts and constant worry. Continuously एक चिंता लगी रहती है, ये हुआ, ये नहीं हुआ, ये हुआ, नहीं हुआ. See, those are all those symptoms when you are actually stressed. So problems with your memory or concentration, when you're not able to concentrate, and there are multiple thoughts, coming into your mind. At the same time, sometimes after doing something, we realize that it was a bad decision. So whenever that thought comes to your mind that you made a bad decision, trust me, understand that you had a stressful moment, right? So these are all the emotional signs of stress, and this is what happens when stress is around, right? So can, as a faculty group, we get down, note down, and share workplace related stress? I want you to quickly take a minute and just put down, and if you have already put down, you can start sharing on chat as well, in terms of whatever are your workplace related stress. And you can be open, share in this. I mean, I'm not taking any notes, and I'm sure Varsha is not taking any notes on the stresses that you have. So you can be free to share your workplace related stress. And I'm particularly asking for workplace for a reason I'll share with you in the next slides. Yeah. So can you pick up some stress areas related to your workplace? What are those points which causes stress to you? Go ahead. You guys can identify the right emotion to stress, which is what you did some time back. So now I want you to share any workplace related stress. Yes, Abhijit. You just said HI. What does it mean? Is it high? Yes. Okay. So what are those workplace related stress which you have? Can we have some examples? Okay. Okay. Non-performing person in your team. Okay, I got that. Yes, quite possible. If you have somebody who's non-performing, you're bound to have stress. Okay. Long distance on travel. Yes, very often long distances will cause you stress, right? What time expectations are increasing to meet? Yes, there is work on hand and you're being pressed for time to complete. Yes, that happens. Yes. Motivated or you get demotivated. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Get motivation to work is one very big factor which is there. Meetings are called. Oh, in fact, there was one session where somebody said we just have too many meetings. So the fact that there are a number of meetings itself is also a stress point. And meetings at short notice, and people do not come prepared. Yeah, right. Going to work and enjoying, demotivated by senior people. Yes, possible. Yeah, not completing before deadline. Good, fantastic. I'm happy that from emotions we are connecting to some examples of work related. So let me share with you some research work which was indicated, like across various universities and places. These are some of the common stress points which faculties have. And I'm talking of stress only related to faculty here. I'm not talking of any stress related to any industry or sector. Okay, this is stresses which the faculty team normally has, people who are teaching in colleges, schools, everywhere. Okay, so and this is some stats related to India plus world, and I'll even share with you some research work done on this in US. Okay, so amongst the faculty, high job demand, student misbehavior, or a latest one which has come is low span of attention of the students or the millennials, right? Poor working conditions, poor relationship at work, role conflict, role ambiguity, lack of autonomy, or poor institutional ethos, or lack of developmental opportunities, right? So what do you feel? I mean, you are the yours. I hope you, after looking at the list, you realize that you are not the only one, right? If this data is something which I had even before asking you, right? So what some of the stresses what you mentioned, right, are already there even with so many faculty members across India or across the world, right? So the stress which you have is so very common with others. So do you feel happy knowing that? Right? So what's your reaction to the fact that I had almost all items of your list, right? Even before I asked you. So the stress points which you are carrying are exactly the stress points, which any faculty anywhere in the world is carrying. What does it mean? What does it mean? Quickly, I want you just 3-4 thoughts with the fact. Your list almost matched the list which I had. So what does it mean to you? What do you understand by that? What do you mean by the fact? Because whatever you said is already there on the list, and it's common across for all faculties. So what does it mean? Anyone? Quick 2-3 thoughts if your list is matching what is there in the industry. Yeah. Any reaction? Any reaction to the fact that your list of stress is common across? No reactions. Okay. Lack of time for preparation. Yeah. But what I meant was, if this list which I shared is common, what you have and what other faculties across the industry have, well, one thing for me, it means that, even if you were to quit this job and join anywhere else, you are likely to have the same stress, right? So you will have the same stress whether it is this college or any college, because the list of stress across all colleges remains the same. There is absolutely no difference. I mean, worst might be like you might choose to leave this college and join another college, and after some time you realize that your HOD is also moved to the college, So it can so happen that the purpose of leaving a college, may not meet your requirement. So what do you want to do about it? What do you want to do about it? So if this list remains same, whether it is this college or any college across the world, I mean, you as faculties need to seriously think, what do you want to do about it, right? So let's understand. So we have this research which is from Walter Glench at Stanford University, and he's interviewed about 4,000 faculty members across 100 institutions in US, right? And his whole objective, in fact, he wrote a book, and see if you want to, if you can find this book and share it with everybody. He wrote a book which is called Coping with Faculty Stress. So this is faculty related stress specialized book. So if you, so that is the extent of study which is available in the market. You can Google it, you can find a way if you can download it or buy one copy and share it amongst yourself. I leave it to you. So what he said was, these were the 4 or 5 common thing. I mean, there were a number of big list which he had, but finally he was able to consolidate it to bring it to these 5 items, right? The first item he said, which is most common, is reward and recognition. In the faculty group, generally, most of the institutions have inadequate rewards, insufficient recognition, right, in teaching, in research, and in service. So that causes stress in the faculty community. Then there are time constraints. Like a lot of you said, having insufficient time where we are not kept informed of current developments. Then we have to prepare for our classes, and then the situation is made worse because there are too many meetings, interruptions, and demands on the faculty time. So this is seen as the second most common reason for why faculties, even in US, have a lot of stress. Then there is a departmental influence. There is an attempt to influence the departmental and institutional policies, right? So where faculties end up losing authority. Then there is a professional identity issue where high self-expectation and realization in professional identity rests upon, the extent of publications you have, presentations you have, the sharings you have. So that puts a lot of stress on a lot of professors. Then you have student interaction, and that I have circled particularly because this has started taking prominence in the last few years, where there are conflicts with students over the way they are evaluated, they are advised, they are taught. So these are the 5 most. So how do you find the list? Do you find the list encouraging, helpful, quite same all across? What's your reaction to this list? Quick reactions to this list. How do you feel? How do you feel looking at the list? What do you feel looking at the list? So that's a study across 4,000 people, right? True. So correct. So it's like your list and the list in US made by research is so common, right? It's absolutely the same. Right. So why does it happen? So let's understand. So Stanford University, these are the 10 most troublesome stress traps for professors is what Mr. Walter identified. Imposing excessive expectations, securing financial support, having receiving insufficient salaries, striving to publish one scholarship, having too heavy workload, job demands, feeling progress, receiving interruptions. right? And attending too many meetings. So this were the reasons for the stress. So my question to you is, what do you want to do about it? What do you want to do about it? If I tell you the fact that your list of stress matches the world's best research as well, the stress points what you have are also common with the other faculties across the world. So what do you want to do about it? Quickly, if you can quickly put into the chat box, what do you want to do about it? Or if you're doing something about it, if you just want to put it in small words, you can quickly add. I will, of course, share with you the science of stress and how to deal with some part of it. We have very less time in 1 hour, but we'll try to share some best practice on one of the key of the 5 or 6 items which I shared. So what do you want to do about it? The stress तो है, stress है, accepted है, और जो stress आपको है वो दुनिया में सभी faculty को है, right? तो अगर सभी faculties को ये stress है, so what's new about it? क्या करना है फिर आपको उसका? What do you want to do about it? Find cause and plan your work better to acquire skills to manage it. Okay. So, okay, I will spend some time. Can you really manage stress, or can you really control stress, or can you really stop stress? Okay. We'll talk about that a little while from now. Yeah. Find cause and plan. Any more inputs? Vinod says we have to find a cause and plan. Okay. Any more reactions? जो है stress आपको वो सभी को है, तो क्यों इस पे काम करना है? Be positive always. Good, nice. I like that, Amruta. Okay. Meditation, says Mr. Rampure. I agree with you. Mindfulness is definitely one way to deal with it. Manage it to improve it. Hold on to that line, Ms. Gitanjali. It's a very beautiful line. Manage it to improve it, and how to manage it is what we can do about it. Okay. Good. So I like your initial reactions, because any change or improvement can only happen once we accept that yes, there is stress. And second point to accept is the stress which you have is common. Everybody has it, right? So if every faculty in the world has exactly the same stress as you have, right? It is something that we need to understand, that we can probably work on, understanding how it is dealt with. It is the source of stress may not be as much controllable with you, but how you respond to the stress is definitely in your control. I'll just repeat that last line. The source of stress probably may not be always in your control, but how you respond to that stress is always in your control, right? So let's understand how some of the most successful people, right? And we'll slightly step out of the faculty area to look at some of the best people in the world and to understand, I mean, did they also have stress and how did they deal with it? Okay. So I'll take one person at a time here, and these are some of the most successful people, because behavioral science says, in case there is stress or there are becauses, right? This becauses you can replace with the word stress, because all the reasons for which you gave for stress, behavioral science says that then there is also thing called possibilities to overcome these becauses. Have you heard about this guy called Roger Bannister, right? See, Roger Bannister, we take examples from sports people because we find it people easily connect with it, and these are all examples which I'm taking, which are slightly outside the domain of maybe the faculty space area, right? So that we connect with the reason of stress. So Roger Bannister was a doctor and a sports person, and just as we connected, the Medical Sciences Journal had prescribed that the human body is in a particular structure where, to cover 1 mile, you would require X minutes, right? And that was much more than 10 to 12 minutes at that point in time. But Roger Bannister was one guy who believed the fact that it is not true, right? Even if the medical journal said so, his belief was much stronger than that, right? So what happened was one fine day, and this was in the European winters, and it was quite stormy, or rather there was cool breeze blowing. He said, he called up his friends and he said, I don't believe this, the fact that, the human body cannot break the barrier that if you run 1 mile, you still, you can't do it in less than, 8 minutes. So if 1 mile should not take you that long. So his friend said, even if you want to prove things wrong, don't do it today because it's very windy outside. So, but because Roger Bannister had decided, he decides to, prove everybody wrong and decides to do the 1 mile run. And if 1 mile is like four laps of a normal ground, or which has been stated for a race. So the story is not about Roger Bannister breaking the record. He went ahead, he broke the record, he informed everybody, all of that happened. But the story is not about Roger Bannister breaking the record. The interesting thing that happened is the moment he broke the record, within 6 months, there were 20 more people who did it within 6 months. So what happened? So what do you think happened? Why is it that this thing happened? That this. I mean, what were the 20 more people waiting for, right? So sometimes we get caught into our own beliefs and mindset, which holds us from doing things, and which is what Roger Bannister proved otherwise, that that it was not about the medical journal and science. It was about people deciding to do it, and then you make it happen. So that the more proving point about Roger Bannister's story, about people getting caught into a mindset to break the decisions. The second story is about Edison, and I'm sure you know what Edison did, right? But this is a story about his younger days when he had, joined. He had joined the factory as a very fresh engineer, and when he joined the factory as an engineer, he do you know which company did he join? Are you aware of which company he joined? Anyone who can write in the chat box which company he joined? This company was famous, and it was famous for making candles, right? And the company made candles, and while he was there on the shop floor, it was one of the highest maximum sales making company, and a very popular company which exists even today. Of course, today they no longer make candles, but they make other products. So anybody who knows the name of the company? Okay, it's a company by the name called Procter and Gamble, right? So this company is known for making a lot of other products today than candles. So when Edison got on the shop floor, and he found that, or his observation was that we are not in the manufacture of candles, but we are in the business of making light and not candles. So our product should be light. So he worked on the shop floor into creating another alternative product, what he called as boxed light. And then he went to the management to present, that we are not in the business of candles. What we should be selling is a box light, and this is my new design. So what do you think management did? So what they did actually was they decided to throw him out, right? And he swore that he would make this product in spite of they throwing him out, and he will sell it cheaper than the candles. So the product was what we know Edison for, which is called as bulb, right? And the only reason why we choose candles is when we go for candlelight dinner, which is more expensive than the bulb, right? So that's what happened. So it was not that stress was not there on Edison. He had the stress to even lose his job, right? But had he chosen to be stressed and not done anything about it, or has he chosen to be stressed and live with the issue, that to give up his discovery and live with what he had, we would not have seen the bulb today. So the biggest and the best of the people who face stress, right, have been able to overcome it only once they have overcome the mindset what was holding them back. This is the second part of the best people, right? And this is why I talk about that someone will, show us the way forward, but the brain is stuck into patterns that it does not see possibilities. The moment you have stress, what happens to the brain is it stops seeing solutions and patterns, and the brain will only see problems, right? And this is what we need to deal with. And why is that? There is a scientific aspect to this, that why your brain stops seeing possibilities is what we'll talk in the next few slides. Another simpler example is that of a snake charmer. I'm sure you know how snakes are managed by the snake charmer. A snake does not drink milk. A snake does not listen to the bean or any of it. A simple thing that the snake charmer does is he puts the snake into a box. He keeps it hungry for almost a good long time. Then the only thing he does is he will tap the box, and the moment he opens the box, he puts the mouse into the box and shuts it. And this process continues for almost 15-20 days. So after 15-20 days, the snake understands that, the moment I'm going, there is somebody who is tapping the box, I'm going to get food. So I need to just, when the box opens, I need to open my mouth, right? And that's the training the snake charmer gives for 15, 20, 30 days, right? So whenever he comes to you, he'll just tap the box and the snake pops out, right? Because that's what the snake has been trained into. So the snake has slowly got into the mindset of how to work, and I'll get free food the moment, somebody taps my box. So that's again how mindsets get created. And similarly, as we come to work every day, as we come do our job every day, there is a daily mindset creation which is happening in our workplace. Well, now you need to figure out how that is happening in your workplace. Roger Sperry gave a concept which won a Nobel Prize, that the brain is divided into two parts. You have a right lobe and a left lobe. Now here is what is one part of the solution of dealing to mindsets. And dealing with mindsets is one of the ways of, or one of the best ways what we need to consider to deal with stress, right? Most of the time, the intellect part of the left side of the brain is connected with your logic, your reasoning, all aspect of it. Entire schooling, entire education, entire environment that we grow is normally we are groomed to only focus on the left side of the brain, which is more to deal with logic and reasoning and logic and reasoning. But what about the right side of the brain? The right side of the brain deals with your emotions. Now, if you see all the points that you spoke about, all the reactions which you spoke about related to stress were more to do with the right side of the brain. Now, all through the childhood when we grew, we never learned how to deal with the right side of the brain. But now we are faced with a problem where we are not finding a solution on the left side of the brain. And that is what is stress. You will never find a solution to deal with stress with the right side of the brain. With the left side of the brain. So if you're trying to find logics to deal with stress, I'm sorry, you will struggle a lot, but you may not find a peaceful solution. So to deal with stress, we need to know, how to manage the right side, or how to use the right side of the brain. The right side of the brain is more about intuition. It's more about dealing with, emotions. And that's what is also called, a lot of people called as, your sixth sense, or a lot of people call it, dealing with out-of-box ideas. So out-of-box ideas or innovative ideas actually come from people who are able to balance a lot of their right and left side of the brain. So that's another reason why we need to know how to balance both sides of the brain. The moment you are able to balance or understand how to deal with both sides of the brain, you will be able to find solution to stress much more easily, right? So again, I'm not getting into details of stories of these guys, Usain Bolt, Kipchoge, Kapil Dev, or Mary Kom. I mean, these people dealt with stress for almost like 10, 15, 20 years. It's not that the race which Usain Bolt won, for his 15 seconds of fame, there is 15 years of stressful effort. Kipchoge has done 15, 20 years of effort of stressful life before he hit the fame. Same holds for Mary Kom and Kapil Dev, right? So the point is, if you do what you have always done, you will get the same results. If you're looking for a solution to step out of stress, you will need to break your fixation, your routine, to change your response to the situation, right? So 3 ways to be dealt with, right? So institutions and students will always, need a lot, and we work to improving them first, right? We take a lot of initiatives to improve some of the factors that may help your overall improvement, right? And third option to deal with this, is, faculties themselves find a way, to deliver in spite of the institution and in spite of the type of the students, right? One is, yes, you can wait for your institution to work on your stress, right? But what I find most effective with people is when they work on the third part. Like I said, the problem that you have is there in every institution with every faculty all across, right? It is not something new and different. If I take you examples across the industry, when people have understood how to deal with stress using their brain, they have found better results. They have rather hit breakthrough results, right? So the best recommended solution is, if you are able to find your own way by understanding how to deal with stress, you will have the best results, right? So going back to the basic definition, the stress was only a feeling of emotion, right? And or a physical tension, and it can come on any event or thought. So let's understand how thoughts and how things happen in the brain so that you're able to understand. So this is in short, very the way the brain has evolved over the millions and millions of years, right? Right from what we initially saw as, what we call as a lizard brain, the brain has evolved almost like for billions and millions of years to what we have today. So the initial bacteria, animals, had a very different structure of the brain, where only there were initial parts to it, but you did not have, every aspect of it. As it developed into mammals, which happened like 200 million years, the brain also evolved into what got developed as what is called as a forebrain, right? What I'm sharing with you now is based on scientific research, right? So which will help you understand what happens to your brain when stress happens, okay? So the human brain is one of the most evolved brains. What got added is what is called as the frontal and cortex part of the brain, which deals with reasoning abilities. So this is not what was there in the animal brain, right? This is something which got added. So when you compare the human brain compared to the other brain, the cortex part, the reasoning part which got developed is what got added. So this is how we have evolved. What you see on the right, we moved from a lizard brain to a mammal brain to a human brain, right? What the difference, what is called is, the lizard brain only had the brain stem and the cerebellum, which is what you see in the diagram over here, right? The red part of it. So जब किसी को फांसी दी जाती है, the point which connects your brain and your rest of the system, right? That is the point which is struck or cut or which gets broken, right? Which disconnects your entire part, and that is what happens जब फांसी दी जाती है, right? It's because that disconnects the entire system with the brain, okay? Then we developed into what is called as the limbic system, which got developed here. The limbic system is where all your emotions, memories, habits are all stored, okay? And the rest of the brain, which is the neocortex, the one which is painted blue here, is where, all your other things get stored, okay? So what happens? How does the brain really work? Let's understand that. So all of us know our 5 senses, right? I don't need to tell you your 5 senses. So whether you're seeing, smelling, sensing, or touching, the 5 senses which are there, with the way humans operate. The moment you see something, right? Suppose the eyes saw something, right? Or you heard something, right? It will send signal to what we are calling here as the air traffic controller in an airline. This is a terminology that we have given. It is not there in the brain. there is a place called thalamus which acts like an air traffic controller. So just as अलग-अलग planes एक airport पे जब land करने आती हैं, so there is an air traffic controller जो guide करता है plane को रुकना है, land करना है. तो वैसे ही हमारे brain में there is a thing called thalamus which acts like an air traffic controller. So it guides your thoughts. Okay. Now what happens when there is a sudden thought? You didn't plan for the day, but there was suddenly a meeting called. तो क्या होगा? Right? Now that is not scheduled. Now that is just like an input which आपके 5 senses ने throw कर दिया brain को, and the brain does not know where to go. Right? So that is what happens. So what happens is the moment there is a thought or moment there is an input to any of the 5 senses, right? It goes to the thalamus. Thalamus instructs your cortex. Cortex में आपका reasoning, logic सब stored है. And then they will send it to another part which is called the amygdala. Now amygdala में आपके सारे emotions और past experiences of emotions stored है, right? तो ये इतना fast होता है कि cortex से आपका frontal cortex, back cortex, sub cortex में जाके amygdala में जाके then there is a response which gets created. This is how the functioning of the brain works. Okay. Then what happens when you get a stressful thought? Okay. So let's understand. This is your frontal lobe. So any input in a normal life, whenever you're working, if you have planned your day, you will receive inputs. The brain will process it. Frontal cortex में जाएगा, amygdala में जाएगा, reasoning लगेगा, and then you will respond. Now what happens when there is a stressful input? When there is a stressful input, right, the amygdala is, the process that happens is called a amygdala hijack, right? For example, let's take a very simple example. You woke up in the morning, you went for a walk, right? Suddenly you saw a snake in front of you, right? Now your brain, you don't have a programmed steps in your brain which is stored, right? So what happens is the moment I see a snake, right, the thought which came, the input which came to the brain bypasses the cortex and straight away hits the amygdala. Okay? The thought of a snake bypasses what you saw and straight away hits the amygdala, and then you have to respond. So there are only 3 responses which happen, and that process is of bypass. When the cortex get bypassed is called amygdala hijack. You can Google it. There is a lot of information, a lot of research which happens. And the moment the amygdala gets hijacked, there are only 3 responses which happen, which is called freeze, fight, or flight. There are only 3 responses which will happen. Either you will freeze, means there is no reaction. You are not able to respond. You will start palpitations. You will start sweating, right? Or there is a fight which you connect with anger. You will respond in a very angry manner. Or there is flight where you want to run away from the situation, right? So this is what happens to your brain. Okay, this is a scientific process of what's happening to your brain whenever you get surprises or things which are unplanned, unscheduled, unthought about, which enter. You didn't plan for a meeting happened, but you have other work in hand. Now suddenly you have a stress emotion. So what triggers is all these 3 emotions. Now if you connect all these 3, this is exactly, you will be able to connect to your psychological or emotional signs of stress. Whether it is depression is an outcome which continues, if the amygdala hijack continues for a very long time and you are not able to do anything about it, it can lead to depression. Otherwise, all those things what you spoke about stress, you will be able to connect with your amygdala hijack, right? If you have the hijack, this is what will happen, right? So this is the scientific reason. So any questions up to this point? Any questions up to this point? Because normally we don't look at stress in this way, right? But there is a science, and this is how this science works, because stress, like I shared in the beginning, what stress you have is common with everybody. There is nothing new. Same stress is there across the world with every faculty. Same stress is there with any other profession, with any person who wants to contribute. So the way your brain works is what I explained to you. How to deal with it is what we'll talk in the next quick 10 minutes that we have. Any piece of question that you have. you need to understand this process, that the fact that your brain responded in a particular way is a normal brain functioning. It has nothing to do with anything. Okay? It's a normal. So to have stress, or what you call as stress, is normal. Okay? Please understand that first. Okay? So these are the symptoms what you realize when a hijack happens. Now, how do you deal with a hijack? Can hijack be stopped? Can hijack be stopped? Any responses to that? Can you stop an amygdala hijack? Yes, no, anything that you think? What do you think? Can you stop your amygdala hijack? Can you stop from hijack happening to your brain? Can you stop an hijack? Yes or no? Quickly, can I have some quick responses? Can you stop the hijack from happening? Any responses to the hijack process? Jayant, Abhijit, Vinod. Okay, Amol says no. Okay, any other response? No, maybe, okay, difficult, okay, okay, no, okay, got it. So the answer, what you said, is correct. You cannot stop amygdala hijack. At the same time, let me tell you, a normal human being will have almost 20 to 25 or more hijacks in one day. Okay, what I shared with you is purely based on scientific research. But what you can deal with is your response to the hijack. You cannot stop the hijack from happening. Whatever you planned your day, right, your hijacks will continue to happen throughout the day, right? And they can be stressful. You asked for something, you didn't get it. You expected a good masala chai in the morning, it didn't happen. It can trigger a hijack, and if you hold on to that hijack, it can lead you to stressful moments or emotions. Okay, so how to deal with it? One best way to deal with it is to use humor and empathy more to neutralize it, right? It has been said that our result shows that if you have humor, or somebody spoke about positive thoughts, if that helps you to build humor in your interactions, in your activities, that's one way which helps you to come out of hijack and enables a better response from your side. Okay. The second rule is the 6-second rule. What we say is, use 6 deep breaths. Whenever you feel those emotions, use 6 deep breaths and think of fun activities. Think of fun activities that you had in your life and then respond, right? This is the second rule. The third and even more effective rule is identifying the stimulus and reflect on what caused the hijack. Now, this you can't do it, but if something is happening on a more regular basis, you need to start identifying what caused that emotion for you and start working on that trigger, right? Which is what is the next point, that amygdala operates on your past information. Every single emotion and event that happens is stored in the amygdala, right? So all the brain does is, in the past, whatever emotions you had for such an event, it will just throw out. Brain is not designed to be creative on its own. Brain is only a storage box. So in the past, if you had unplanned meetings and your only reaction was to swear at it, trust me, when an amygdala hijack would happen, it will prompt you to swear, and you will swear. That's how it happens. And that's the design of the brain. So the only way to deal is, you cannot control the stimulus, but you can control your response to the stimulus. So what you see as stress could just be another opportunity for a breakthrough by looking at how you can respond to it. Okay. So let's say a student interaction or a conflict, right? Before we get into this, so the only thing I want you to take away from today's session is, stress is there and it's normal, and these are the only 4 things the way the brain understands to deal with stress. So the more you do, if you are able to identify your triggers, work backward on your triggers, and hold on to your immediate response for 6 seconds, right? It will help you come out of the hijack and deal with the response, right? You cannot control those moments. but your response can be controlled and your response can be better. And that's the only way to deal with the stress. There is no other scientific way to deal with the stress. So you have to continuously practice your brain to control the response. And that's the only way to deal with stress. Okay. Now, we'll spend another last 5 minutes on understanding one popular stress point which people talk about, which is dealing with people with short span of attention, right? A lot of work has gone in and a lot of things have got reported onto this, that faculties these days get particularly a lot of stress because the students they face have a very short span of attention. Okay, like students are not ready to listen, their span of attention is becoming shorter and shorter. Yeah, but that's the environment. You cannot control the environment, right? So the attention span refers to how long you can focus on a particular task without getting distracted, right? And Microsoft research says that it has dropped to 8 seconds. It has shrunk more than 25% in the last few years, right? And this continues to shrink because our expectations have gone up. The next generation which you face expects instant results. They expect instant gratification. They expect instant answers to all problems. So the span of attention continues to go low. Now, either we see it as a problem, then we will continue to have stress. So we have to find a way to deal with it. So how hard it is to pay attention, right? A normal person can pay attention for 10 to 20 minutes. However, there is no empirical evidence to that, but your span of attention will vary from person to person. So again, if we have to apply what we learned in the previous slide, it is about looking at the stimulus, what is affecting the span of attention of people, and looking for triggers, about how to deal with it. So these are seen as the common causes of where lack of attention or causes happen, right? What is seen as attention deficit hyperactivity as a disorder with a lot of people who have faced this from childhood. Then there are learning disabilities or autism, or students going through depression can also be a reason for that. And these are 6 simple ways you can deal with it, right? For the reason for time, because I think time is running out with what we had agreed. So I'm not getting into details of all this, right? So there is something called attention breaks, right? So one of the common ways faculties deal with span of attention in the classroom is they try to talk about attention breaks. So in this break of quick half a minute, they talk to students why attention is important and why paying attention can help their learning. So these are called attention breaks, where they encourage discussion about why paying attention is important. And these are short 1-2 minute chats which are done in classrooms. Then there is something called adjusting time frames. If we can quickly run through, there is a lot of attention time breaks where students and interactions are stepped up, and there are periodic intervals which you plan as attention breaks. There is a lot of physical activity which is added, right, into the classroom curriculum, right? So we know that a student study shows that there is a multiplying factor which is applied to the age, which means for the age groups, if you are dealing in college, the students are not likely to have a time frame or span of attention beyond 30 to 60 minutes max, right? And it will vary from student to student, right? So one way to deal is identify the students who are likely to have a shorter time span and deal with those students separately. Another way is, you need to divide your lectures into shorter spans, divide the material, get into a lot of group tasks where the curriculum is divided and the students are, encouraged to study in the group and present back rather than the faculty giving all answers and teaching everything. The faculty does the conceptual part, and the student groups do a lot of research-based learning and present back. And then during the sharing between the groups, there is a lot of learning. So this is one way people have found to deal, and it takes care of the faculty stress as well. Visual distractions, very difficult to remove, but this is one thing which the faculty will have to continuously focus, that what are the visual distractions your students have in the classroom, so you can work on decluttering them. At the same time, there can be visual experiences which can be created in the classroom. So if there is some way you can create some visual posters or things which are put up in the classroom that can help you remove the visual distractions. Then the next one is about memory games. A lot of people have tried this with the students of using some kind of short 1, 2 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute memory related games in the classroom. So they help a lot in creating an environment which is stress free for learning. Then you have tasks which are put, which we spoke about in terms of avoiding, then break task into pieces. Again, what we spoke about, the breaking your task across into smaller chunks and dealing with the students. So these are common ways what people have found, that if you have a group of students which has got a span of attention problem and it is causing stress to you, then these are the ways people have found to deal with it. Right. So of course, yes, it will take a little extra thought and extra work from your side, but at the end of it, it helps you deal with the stress which you are facing with the students. Right. So to end my presentation, the thought that I want to leave with you is, you cannot control the stimulus, but you can only control your response to the stimulus in dealing with stress. Right. So over to everybody for any questions that you may have.
Is participant, any questions are there? You can unmute yourself.
Sorry if I was fast, but with the time that was available, this is the best I could do. But in case if you have any questions, you can write later or talk about it now, and yes, I'll be very happy to answer.
So no questions are there, sir.
Okay, I don't know whether no questions is a good response or a bad response, but
Good response.
Good response. Okay. So I hope okay. I hope the content added value to the learning, and in case you still have any questions later on, please feel free to write.
Sir, may I ask a question?
Yeah.
This is Dr. Arpan Mandal from NIT Kolkata.
Yes, sir. बोलिए ना, please.
जी सर, मैं एक पूछना चाहता हूँ कि जो अटेंशन स्पैन के बारे में आप बोले, लाइक इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट, कि हम सोचते हैं कि बच्चे सुनते नहीं हैं, ये लोग लाइक दे डू नॉट वांट टू लिसन एनीथिंग एंड दे वांट टू एंजॉय बाय सिटिंग इन द बैक बेंच, बट इन रियलिटी इट मे बी लाइक, अगर हमको ही बिठा दिया जाए क्लास में, मैं भी सो जाऊंगा आधा घंटा, ठीक है? तो सर, इसके लिए लाइक व्हाट कैन बी डन टू ओवरकम दिस लाइक अटेंशन ग्रैब करने के लिए हम क्या कर सकते हैं?
सर, मेरी वो लास्ट स्लाइड थोड़ा मैं फास्ट था. व्हाट आई विल डू इज, मैं ये प्रेजेंटेशन पूरा मैं आई विल शेयर इट विद वर्षा, शी कैन शेयर इट विद यू. उसमें 7 एक्शन प्लान हैं जो डिटेल किए गए थे, तो वो मैं आपको भेज देता हूँ. तो बेस्ट वे इज टू improve the in short, I mean you have to step up the interaction with the students, and the best result is कि students को group करिए. वो grouping भी students को ही बनाने दीजिए, बट इसमें थोड़ा सा आपको अश्वत्थामा हाथी ये करना पड़ता है कि जो स्टूडेंट आपके ऑब्जर्वेशन में वीक या लो स्पैन ऑफ अटेंशन का है, उनको आपको मिक्स करना है ग्रुप्स में. एंड यू नीड टू प्रमोट ग्रुप लर्निंग, वेयर अगर आपके करिकुलम में 8 पॉइंट्स हैं या 10 पॉइंट्स हैं, समझो आपको जो कवर करना है, you cover actually only the 2 or 3 points. You don't cover the 8. Okay? Rest you have to ask the student to work in the groups, come with the other points and present back, and then conduct a discussion with the students, and as a summary of that discussion you try to get your 5 points evolved in that discussion.
Okay.
So using that method of teaching, lot of people have found the span of attention or engagement of the students has drastically gone up, and at the same time the stress on the faculty is drastically reduced. He is not under pressure to finish all 8 points in 40 minutes, and it doesn't become a one-sided interaction. The students are engaged much more. Yeah.
Yeah, that means like we need to promote active learning as much as possible.
Yes. It's reducing stress on both sides. So yes, थोड़ा आपको एक्स्ट्रा स्टूडेंट इंटरेक्शन में बढ़ाना है और टास्क को ब्रेक कैसे करना है उस पे आपको काम करना पड़ेगा. But that's one time. And I think faculty can do it very easily.
वो तो करना ही पड़ेगा. Like our target is to like we want our students to learn better.
Correct.
Better and better every day.
See, while you are
sir, thank you very much.
Hello.
Yeah, your stress is going up and student is not learning, so it is not helping both.
Yes.
So, yeah. Yes, sir. Vinod ji, boliye na.
Sir, just a piece of information at our institute, Bhagubhai Mafatlal Polytechnic. Since last 5 to 7 years, we have introduced a subject stress management for the students.
Good.
And team of teachers and team of professionals are engaging 2 hours per week, where they are taught many things: time management, meditation, plan yoga, something like that. So
No,
it
good.
is.
I mean, your meditation is also, see, what is meditation doing? Meditation is bringing your mind to a calm space, right? So you are able to control your response to the situation. That is what it is doing. If you are in a calm mind, right, your response to a situation is better rather than when you are in a cluttered state, correct? So what is meditation doing? It is making your mind calm so that your response is better. So
Living in
what you can,
presence.
yeah, correct. So what you tell them is, first of all, everybody needs to understand having stress, or what we call as stress, is normal. Okay. And it is there with every human being. So if they come to terms to understand it is normal. I mean, Edison had equal stress or much more than what I have, but he used that situation to make a breakthrough. So how do I use my stress to create breakthrough? Talk more about the hijack so they know the science of the brain, that it is normal to have it, and all I can do is manage my response. So whatever I need to do to manage my response, I need to do. And that is all about managing stress. There is no other science. I mean, you can do 20 things, of course. I mean, unless somebody has a medical problem, then there is a medical solution. But understanding where and how it is caused and how the brain works is the best way to deal with it.
Thank you, sir.
I'll share this content. I mean, it is available on Google as well these days, but I can share this presentation. Use it the way it helps you.
Thank you, sir.
More glad. Yes. Anything else, sir?
Good afternoon.
Very good afternoon, sir.
Sir, in our college, most of the students left the institute because of their economic situation, or there are some they are not capable for the course, or they are more stressful in our some other social economic situation. How to resolve this problem? How to solve the problem to reduce the cut of the student?
Start chatting with them, sir. You have to call and start talking to them to understand what was their real reason why they left. I mean, it may not always be the economic reason. Like I spoke about Kipchoge and Usain Bolt as stories, right? You will have to bring those stories across to them. None of these people come from economically strong backgrounds. I mean, the very fact that even our Kapil Dev doesn't come, or a Mary Kom doesn't come from successful backgrounds, but they are highly successful people today, right? So what you need to bring to fore or share with your students is these elements of what drives success. Success is not getting just good marks. Success is not, just by saying that, I failed. Your failure is not by scoring. I mean, the other day I was reading a fantastic story. Whenever a lion is hunting, I mean, we talk about bravery, we talk about so many things, but the fact is, a lion is successful only 30% of the times when it is hunting. So do we say that a lion is a 70% failure? No, it's not. All it is the nature has its own way, where the animals understand it normally, what is called as wasted effort to learn. Right? And animals get used to it, but they don't stop hunting. Right? The animal will continue to keep on hunting. So 30% success rate is normal, and we'll keep on improving on it. That's all. So people need to understand unfortunately, in our system, the moment I score less marks, we have started bucketing things into success and failure. So who gave that definition of success and failure? That needs to be questioned, and that needs to be changed for and better understanding of students. If he comes, picks up one subject, excels in it, it's good. So
Okay.
it's not necessary that every subject he has to score a distinction. It may not be of his interest. So we have to, as faculty members, facilitate the learning of the student, help them understand what is success and failure. And these are definitions given by people. It is are not gospel truths which are laid down by God. So doing that probably might help you as a beginning. Yes, there will be more which will need to be done more, but yes, you can start with that.
Okay, sir. At least
Anyway,
5 to
we
10%
can
students
help you. Yeah, if anywhere
the
we
institute
can help, please guide.
after MD phase. Most of the student, that is 5 to 10% student, left the institute due to this situations.
Yeah, counseling is the best way to deal with it, sir. You'll have to counsel to get
Right,
them
sir.
to understand. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So this is an live example, sir, that everyone is in stress because the first person is Dr. Arpan Kumar Mondal, sir. He's the expert for next session, sir, and he's asking you the question. It means he is also facing some problems. And the third person is also principal. So starting from the poor to the rich one, and from the lower one to the higher one, everyone is in stress.
It's normal to have stress. I mean,
So
what we call
the
as
best thing
stress.
is what? How to
Yeah.
deal. Yes.
Correct. Just manage your
Yes,
response.
it depends on us only what we are calling to set to what we are calling to stress.
Yes.
So it is our it is not in our control, but the control it is in our hand that how to respond to that stress. It is in our hand. So
Absolutely.
best way is be positive and be calm and handle the stress very effectively. That
That's
is the
it.
most important.
That's it. Nothing else. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you so much, sir, for conducting the session on stress management. Thank you so much, sir. Our next session is based on this screen is visible. Can anyone give me confirmation?
Yeah, it is visible.
Yes, madam. Yes, okay. So next
Yes,
session is based
yes,
on the guidelines for faculty norms and faculty student ratio. And for this, Dr. Arpan Kumar Mondal sir is with us. Sir is currently working as the assistant professor in mechanical engineering department at NITTR Kolkata. He has done the PhD from IIT Guwahati in manufacturing in 2018. Sir published book on the characterization and prediction of mechanical behavior. He also published 13 papers in national and international journal and also published 22 papers in national and international conference. Sir organized more than 30 STTP and FDP programs and also worked for the research project on carbon nanostructure reinforced proxy. Sir invited for 1 week faculty development program on overview to NBA and Washington Accord. Sir guided 13 MTech research scholar and 14 PhD research, PhD research scholar. Dr. Arpan Mondal sir working as a joint organizing secretary for International Conference on Experimental and Computational Methods in Manufacturing at Arunachal Pradesh. He is a member of International Association of Engineers, also a member of International Association of Computer Science and Information Technology and Institute of Engineers and Indian Welding Society. Sir is also active member of the Art of Living Foundation and also connected in social work through NGO. So on behalf of Government Polytechnic Thane, I welcome you, sir. And now I hand over session to Arpan Mondal, sir. Sir, please proceed.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the nice introduction. So myself, Dr. Arpan Kumar Mondal, and in the last session also, in the last program also, I took one session related to the same topic, and there is a little bit modification in the topic that not only the guidelines for faculty norms and student ratio I will be talking about, but also I will be talking about the evaluation documents. And there are some other shortcuts for better preparation of this NBA. Okay, I'll be showing all these things, and I'll be showing you some field of SARs while I'll be discussing this faculty-student ratio and documents. Okay, so let me just share my screen. Please confirm if it is visible.
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir.
Okay. Thank you for the confirmation. So for today's topic is guidelines for faculty norms and faculty student ratio. So before I go into this, so you know that criteria 5 already it is saying that the details about faculty and the student details about the faculty it is asking. Okay, and this faculty details and faculty student ratio basically in 3 locations you will be getting. Okay, so what are the three locations in your SAR or the pre-qualifier? So I'll just quickly show that. So if you see the pre-qualifier, this is the pre-qualifier for diploma. Okay, I hope that faculty members from both diploma as well as degree engineering colleges are present. So in the pre-qualifier, both for diploma as well as the UG, there are 2 institutions. So whenever you are submitting the pre-qualifier, you have to give the faculty information and the basic student information like the intake and if there is any increase or decrease in intake, a number of students that admitted here. You see that sanction strength and number of students admitted in CAY means current assessment year, CAY M1 means -1, M2 means -2. These details you have to add, and similarly for the faculty also you have to add the details of each and individual faculty members, like starting from name, qualification, PAN number, area of specialization, designation, date of joining, teaching loads distribution, and if that particular faculty member is currently associated, whether he has left or not, etc. Okay, and if the faculty member has left, so then in which date he or she has left, even you have to consider the contractual faculty members or part-time faculty members also, if they are present in your institution. And I'm certain that in most of institutions, government institutions as well as private institutions, there are contractual faculty members. And then you have to give the student faculty ratio in the pre-qualifier itself. Okay, this is the pre-qualifier for diploma students, and all these blank forms, though nowadays you need to apply it through online portal, but these forms are available in the NBA website in the downloads section. Okay, so here you see that the number of students in CAY M1 and M2 you have to write, and number of faculty, and faculty student ratio is this number of students divided by number of faculty. Okay, that calculation you have to show. And there are some certain things regarding this contractual faculty member that I'll come later on. Okay, so for the time being, you know that yes, contractual or part-time faculty members we can consider only if they are continuing in that particular institution for more than 1 semester. Okay, so this is one location in the pre-qualifier where you have to give the details of faculty and student. Okay, and now this is the self-assessment report for SAR for format for the diploma programs. Okay, here there are 2 locations. Again, here in the in part A you have to give institutional information, and then you have to give that program level information, and then declarations. Okay, so in this institutional level information, again you have to give the faculty information inside part A. Okay, and as well as inside part B in the program level criteria or information, there also we have to give the faculty information or contribution and what we are calling criterion 5. Okay, so let us see what it is saying. Okay, though criteria 5 will be discussed extensively here, maybe 2 days later, but let me just give a brief about what it is asking. Okay, see, in the same way, you have seen that like in the pre-qualifier also, you have given this information like name of the department, program, year of commencement, intake capacity, increase in intake or not, this information. And this is the first information regarding the students, and then comes the information about your faculty as well as staff. Okay, both teaching and non-teaching employees details you have to provide here. Say faculty in engineering technology, faculty in science and humanities, and non-teaching staff. Okay, so and yeah, obviously male and female also you have to define year after year. Say like current academic year -1 and -2. Okay, and here in this particular case, you have to give for 4 years, current academic year as well as consecutive last 3 years. Okay, so this is where you are giving the details about the non-teaching as well as faculty members and faculty in sciences. Okay, and here, and the earlier one was the for the permanent faculty and staff, and now it is for the contractual. Okay, for contractual faculty and staff, you have to give same information. Okay, and yeah, what do you mean by minimum and maximum? Okay, here also it is written minimum and maximum. Minimum means, say at a certain duration of time, you have 10 faculty members. Okay, and after some time, that in this particular academic year, around say 3 faculty members joined. So, what is the total number of faculty members? 8 plus 3 equal to 11. Okay, and then after some time, 1 faculty member left. Okay, so now what is the current faculty member? Strength 10. Okay, so 8 is the minimum one and 11 is the maximum one in that particular academic year. Okay, so like this you have to add. Okay, number of students in the same way, CAY, M1, M2, M3, boys, girls, total number of students. Okay, so all these are the data, I guess already it is having with the institution, but yeah, you have to arrange it properly. Okay, so now we'll come back, we'll go back to the criteria 5. So here also it is asking you about the faculty information and contribution. Okay, so in this criteria 5, not only the number of faculty members and their academic qualifications, but also you have to give everything. You have to give about how many papers they have published. You have to tell about how many what are the accomplishments they have carried out over the stay at that particular institute. Okay, and this faculty qualification index and all. So all these you have to calculate and show here. So this criteria 5 I'm not discussing because it is already, it will be discussed by someone else. Okay, the same thing. So till now I was showing you what I was showing you about the diploma thing. Okay, so in the tier 2 UG also you'll be getting similar pro forma for pre-qualifiers as well as pro forma for self-assessment report or SAR. Okay, so let me just quickly show it how it looks like when you fill the SAR. Okay, so this is a filled up SAR by one of the institutions, and see, so this is the part A of the SAR. Part A is some information of the SAR. So here, what it is showing in the 7th point, not 7th, 8th point. Yeah, 7, 8. In the point number 9, it is saying the total number of employees in the institution. Regular employee, how many? This, minimum and maximum. Faculty in engineering, male. Faculty in engineering, female. Faculty in maths, science and humanities, and then non-teaching. Okay, these are the regular employees. and these are the list of contractual employees. Okay, number of students. Okay, so year wise they have given the number of students list in boys, both boys and girls, as well as total number of students here. In engineering and technology in PG, it was, the first one was for UG programs, second one is for the PG seat. Okay, and then comes for MBA, MCA. So if you have multiple, what is that called, programs, then you have to show it for multiple programs. Okay, so then comes, so this was in the part A. In the part B, see criterion 5, faculty information and contribution. There also you have to add it. Let me just find it out. See, so in this criterion 5, 200 marks are allotted for these. So there also you can see that all the details of the faculty members along with PAN number, university degree, date of receiving, area of specialization, research publications, PhD guidance, all the details you have to provide. Okay, and then you have to tell that number of UG programs in the department, and you have to calculate the student faculty ratio, S by F. Okay, student faculty ratio, number of students divided by number of faculties in that particular department or domain. Okay, and in the student faculty ratio also there is some rule that I will discuss. Like if some particular faculty member is teaching in multiple departments, you have to, or multiple programs, you have to take some weightage. Okay, so anyway, so these are the locations. These are the locations where you need to take care of the student and faculty details. Okay, so let me come back to the presentation. Okay, so in case of regular faculty members, the faculty to be continued to be counted in the respective year if the faculty has joined on or before 31st August of the same year and has continued at least till 30th April of the next year. Okay, see, if you are a regular faculty member, your candidature will be considered if you have joined on or before 31st August of the same year and continued for at least till 30th April of the next year. Okay, so all the faculty members, whether regular or contractual, except part-time, will be considered. The contractual faculty members doing away with terminology of visiting or adjunct faculty or whatsoever, we have taught for 2 consecutive semesters. I was wrong. If you have taught for at least 2 consecutive semesters, whether you are part-time, contractual, doesn't matter, or an adjunct or visiting, then your candidatures will be considered or will be counted for this NBA. Okay, in the SAR, you can give the details of that particular faculty member. In the corresponding academic year on full-time basis shall be considered for the purpose of calculation in the student faculty ratio. Okay, however, these guidelines will be ensured for the contractual faculty members. What are the guidelines? That shall have the AICTE prescribed qualification and experience, shall be appointed on full-time basis and work for consecutive 2 semesters, or should have gone through appropriate process of selection, and the records of the same should be made available to the visiting team. Okay, in some cases what happens, that simply then I'll be calling some someone for and appoint him or her as a faculty member. Okay, so that should not be the case. Whether you are a government college or private college, so there must be some appropriate selection process. Okay, and a record have to be maintained so that, yeah, that, regarding this qualification and regarding the process of the selection is transparent. Okay, so what is the next point which can be considered as per the NBA guidelines? The PhD faculty count requirement shall be calculated on pro rata basis with at least 75% to be part of the regular faculty and the remaining being part of the contractual faculty, if any. That means that the total PhD count, it is expected that at least 75% of the faculty members in the regular faculty pool is having PhD, and 25% PhD faculty members may be from the contractual faculty pools. Okay, so yeah, but it is quite difficult to maintain, at least in standing in 2021, maybe in 2030, everyone will be having not only one or more than, maybe more than one PhD. But till date, it is not possible to comply completely. Okay, apart from some of the colleges. Okay, so only those who have taught for 2 consecutive semesters, obviously it is already you have said the available and required number of PhD in the department should be calculated on the average basis of COI and COI M1. Okay, the available and required number of PhD in the department shall be truncated to nearest lower integer. If a member of regular or contractual faculty is designated as lecturer, even though holding MTech degree, same will not be counted against the faculty requirements. The simple issue is, if you do not possess the prerequisite qualification for particular grade of faculty, you will not be considered a faculty member, or your candidate will not be counted. Say, I do not have a PhD degree and I do not possess some experience. Okay, so but I have been given the designation of professor or associate professor. Okay, so that will be counted as void. Similarly, if the minimum requirement is not fulfilled at any level, lecturer, professor, whatever it is, so then it will not be counted. If the multidisciplinary areas like MBA or postgraduate diploma in management, or specialized areas like biotechnology, all the qualifications relevant and purposeful to these disciplines need to be considered in addition to the MTech, MBA or PGDM degrees. Okay, in case some specific or multidisciplinary area is there, and yeah, it is very difficult to get qualified personals, then not only the educational qualification, but also we have to consider the other extra qualifications if they have any industry experience, some other certificates, etc. Okay, so, and one more thing, there is no age limit for consideration of emeritus faculty. Emeritus faculty means generally the retired faculty members who can who are reappointed as emeritus faculty members in certain institutions. Like in our institutions, we are planning for this particular post. And NITs already have this emeritus faculty post. Okay, so maybe in diploma or state government engineering colleges, we call it senior faculty member or something will be there equivalent. Okay, so as long as those faculty members are physically fit and they can take classes and engage with the students, they are employed on full-time basis, and it can be considered in the SAR calculation. Academic year obviously is considered from July to June, and your faculty member have to join at least within 31st August to be considered in the NBA calculation. Okay, so another important point, if the SAR is submitted before 30th September, then the CAY shall be the previous academic year. Listen it carefully. If the SAR is submitted before 30th September, then the CAY current academic year or current assessment year shall be the previous academic year. And if SAR is submitted after 30th September, then CAY shall be the running academic year for the purpose of data consideration and calculations. So you have to be careful while planning, while you are planning your this NBA visit and preparing the SAR. Okay, you have to carry out the calculation, consider this date, particular date. Okay, and the meaning of COI, COI M1, M2, all you know, we discuss. The year mentioned in the documents is exemplary. Yeah, so this is student has to consider the academic years as per the definition of CAI given in the document according to the prevailing year. So this is self-explanatory. So these are the things what I'm talking about. These are the guidelines provided by NBA. Okay. So next comes, previous one was regarding to the faculty norms. Now it is regarding to related to the student faculty ratio as considered by the NBA. Okay. So as per NBA, just a minute, I have a call. Hello. Yes, sir. কি জানি এটা সেই করোনার সময় যেটা হয়েছিল Okay, so sorry for the interruption. So I got a call from my HOD. Am I audible now? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Okay, sorry for the interruption. So there was a call from my HOD. So anyways, what I was talking about, so student faculty ratio as considered by NBA, these are the things like, again, whatever the things I'm showing, so these are taken from the NBA guidelines. Okay, so you have to check the guideline time to time. Maybe right now, this is 25:1 for UG. Maybe after 6 months, they will suddenly declare AICT as well as NBA. Like 1 or 2 years back, it was 20, I guess, and from 20 it has been shifted to 25. Okay, so time to time various decisions are taken, so we need to follow that one. So anyway, the student faculty ratio is 25:1 for accreditation of 3 years and 15:1 for the accreditation of 6 years. Okay, and for PG engineering it is 25:1 for 3 years, and for diploma 30:1 for 3 years. For PG management 25:1 and 15:1 for 3 and 6 years respectively. For pharmacy it is 20:1 for 3 years and 15:1 for 6 years programs. Okay, so again, it is quite difficult to maintain this faculty-student ratio, because I know the real situations in the polytechnic colleges, at least in Bengal and Bihar, as well as some northeastern states I have visited. So even Odisha also I have visited. So it is like very poor. Like one or two faculty members are running the whole department. Okay. So even in contractual faculty members also not present. So those whoever are in that position of principal or that decision making authority, so they can at least try for taking some contractual faculty members, not only to just fulfill this, but our target is to improve the quality of the education. Okay. If you follow that target, then we need to work in that direction. Some other guideline: the faculty members should possess adequate knowledge, expertise to deliver all the curricular contents of the program. The number of faculty members must be adequate so that enable them to engage in activities outside their teaching duties, especially for the purpose of professional development, curriculum development, student monitoring, mentoring, counseling, administrative work, training and placement of students, interaction with industrial and professional practitioners. Okay, so this is a very important aspect. Generally, we used to skip or may not have sufficient exposures. The number of faculty members should be adequate to enable them not only in teaching but also duty outside the teaching, like curriculum development, and they may ask some documentary evidence, professional development, student mentoring. Like in some of the institutes, even in some of the private institutes, they're already following this. And in this new educational policy, new education policy 2019, it is clearly mentioned that the faculty members should mentor the students and counsel them. There must be one counselor present in every school and colleges. Okay, so like KIT University in VIT, also one of the universities in the south. So what they are doing, that they have assigned around 30 students for one faculty member. Okay, and that faculty member is like taking care of all the activities outside the classroom, even inside the classroom also. If the students are facing any problem, like during this lockdown, I know one of the, like Pilo Modi Institute of Architecture, in that college what happened, so the faculty members were actively engaged in helping the students, these mentors, not faculty members, the mentors, okay, actively involved in helping students to move to their home, okay, because they were in hostels and mess or rented homes, and from there they reach out to their home. And you know that 1 year back the situation was horrible. Okay, so during that time, to whom you should reach? Your mentor. Suppose you are not able to like get sufficient course materials in particular subject, so to whom you should reach? Mentor. Suppose you are feeling ill, to whom you should reach? A mentor. So this practice, some of the colleges have already started, and new education policy has mentioned that purposefully, and we need to showcase all these. So like, what are the administrative works we are involved in? Training placement of students, whether there is a presence of training and placement cell or not, how many students have been placed, how many faculties are involved, that how many interaction have been taken place with the industry and the professional engineers in that particular field. And not only we have to showcase that, but also we can tell that some of the CO or PO we have achieved through this interaction with the that industrial or professional practitioners. Number of faculty members must be sufficiently large in proportion to the number of students. Yeah, it is very good if you can get more number of faculty members than the decided ratio. Okay, so as to provide adequate level of faculty-student interaction. In any educational program, it is essential to have adequate level of faculty-student interaction, which is possible only if there are enough faculty members. Faculty strength is very much important. Okay, so some other guidelines: the faculty must be actively involved in research and development. Okay, so not only they will just give this guideline, you have to showcase your R&D activities, number of paper published, number of patent filed, number of PhD student got their degree, and number of technical competitions where your students have presented something or participated in. So all these documentary evidence you have to show in this criteria, in the criteria 5. Okay. The next point: the student's education is enriched by being part of such culture, as it cultivates skills and habits for lifelong learning and knowledge on contemporary issues. The faculty members must be actively involved in R&D. So already, like I have by mistake, it is given. Okay. So before I move into the evaluation documents, I'd like to show you. Just a minute. Let me just find out the ratio. This fractional load calculation, you see, distribution of load in percent. Can you see this? I guess yes. So whenever you are giving the faculty information in the department and the program, so in the pre-qualifier, even in the like SAR also, you can find this load distribution. You have to tell, okay, like A, B, C are given. So what is the meaning of A, B, C? In the concept is, suppose one faculty member is from mechanical engineering, okay, and he or she is taking a class in civil engineering as well, or even in electrical engineering. Suppose I am taking material science or strength of materials in mechanical engineering, as well as civil engineering, as well as electrical engineering. Okay, or basic C or C++. So I am teaching to the computer science to all the fastest students. Okay, so then you have to consider this fractional load. Or maybe I am a faculty of science and I am teaching various departments or the programs. So in that case, how to calculate the faculty this load distribution? Okay, so here are three things are there: A, B, C. What are the meaning of the A, B, C? A means faculty of specific program or department considered for fractional load. B means faculty serving in this particular program from other department considering fractional load. C means faculty of this program serving other program or department considering the fractional load. A means faculty, again I repeat, A means faculty of the same department, say mechanical engineering, and he or she is teaching the students of mechanical engineering only. B means faculty serving this program from other program or department. Say a faculty from civil engineering is teaching mechanical faculty students. So that fractional load will be considered in B. And C means faculty of this program is teaching some other, say mechanical faculties teaching the electrical students about electrical machines or robotics, say. Okay, so let us see this note for load calculation. Say faculty taking physics course is having 50% of allocated load of first year civil engineering students, 25% load of first year mechanical engineering, and 25% load of electrical engineering. Then the fractional load contribution should be 0.5 for civil, 0.25 for mechanical, and electrical respectively. Okay, so similarly, fractional load be calculated for interdepartmental program or workload distribution. Okay, so simply that, say total number of class I am taking in certain academic year, say I am taking 100 classes, and out of 100 I have taken 50 classes in civil engineering, 25 in mechanical, 25 in electrical. Okay, so similarly, accordingly you have to calculate the fractional load distribution. Okay, and this is very much straightforward. Total allocated load and in the respective departments. Okay, so this was all about the student faculty ratio, and this what is that called, criteria 5 will be discussed in the upcoming days. So that's why I'm not getting in much in the criteria 5. So now, next important aspect here is evaluation documents. So let us see what are those things. Like there is a question like, what are the documents I should prepare, and what are the documents the NBA visiting team may ask us to showcase. Okay, yeah, in a nutshell, obviously, whatever the information you are giving in this SAR, that you have to keep some documentary evidence. Okay, even if you are not applying for first time, maybe you are applying for second time, but the documents of the last time you have to keep somewhere, even the at least the SAR as well as the recommendations. Even there will be some recommendation in the SAR of last year. So what you have done to improve the quality further as per the last recommendation. So all these things they may ask you. Okay, so and NBA has given some clear-cut guideline that these are the list of documents. If you follow the guidelines that NBA brochures, you can get this list. Okay, so these are the tentative list of documents every institute has to prepare. Okay, so what are those things? Like pre-qualifier of each program submitted by the institutions for accreditation of the program, self-assessment report of the each program applied, evaluation guidelines, format of the visit report, visit schedule, list of documents to be verified, and self-declaration and feedback forms for the chairperson and evaluations. Okay, so these are the documents provided by NBA to the evaluators team. Okay, so now you'll ask me, sir, I know about this pre-qualifier which already we have submitted. I know about self-assessment report, SAR, which already we have submitted. But what about these things? Why? What about these things? Okay, and what does it mean about this? Like evaluation guideline, format of the visit report, visit schedule, list of documents to be verified, self-declaration and feedback forms for the chairpersons and evaluators. You know that NBA team consists of two types of people. One is the chairperson, who is the boss, and there will be two more people, the experts or evaluators. Okay, so evaluators will be evaluating the SAR as well as that on the basis of SAR, the performance of the institute. Okay, and they will be following something called evaluators guideline. Okay, so in the evaluators guideline, the marking scheme is given clearly. Okay, I'll come to that. That let's say faculty student information, 200 marks. But how to achieve 200 marks? If you follow this evaluation guideline, you can back calculate it and you can prepare yourself accordingly. Okay, I'll show you that how it looks like and how you can get benefited from that, and it can help you to prepare yourself. Okay, then format of the visit report. After visiting the institute, chairman as well as the evaluators has to submit some report. What exactly they are going to submit? अगर वो हमको पहले से ही मिल गया, the format, then job is done, because we already know that these are the things they are going to evaluate and they are going to write. And all these things are available in the download sections of the that is NBA website. I'll show you those things. Visit schedule, that again this thing will not be available. So this is nothing but that when they are going to visit and what are the things they are going to check. List of documents that I will discuss right now, and self-declaration and feedback forms for the chairperson. These things also you can see in the NBA website. Okay, so evaluators guideline. First one. See, this is the evaluators guideline for diploma as well as for the what is that called, UG programs. Say criteria 1, vision mission program educational objective, 60 marks. Okay, so how to make sure that you can achieve 60? So let us see the SAR. See, in the SAR, criteria 1, see, criteria 1, what it is written? That state the vision mission of the department and institute, state the program educational objectives, indicate whether mission vision POs are published and disseminated among the stakeholders, state the process for defining the vision mission of the department and the POs of the program, establish consistency of POs with mission of the department. But how to score full marks? How to make sure? Just for stating vision and mission of the department, can you get 5 marks? 5 it is written, but how to score 5 out of 5 here? That is written in this evaluators guidelines. Okay, here the breakup of the marks, that what exactly you have to write there and what exactly they are going to check or they are looking for, that it is written in the evaluation guideline. Okay, state the vision and mission of the department and institute. What are the guidelines? 5 will not be getting until and unless if you fill all these criteria. What are the criteria? Criteria 1, availability of the vision mission statement of the department. Next, appropriateness or relevance of the statements. Then consistency of the department statements with the institute statement. 2 plus 2 plus 1. Okay, total 5 marks. 2, then 2, and then 2, 1, 5 marks. Okay, so here institute's vision and mission statements have been asked to ensure consistency with department's vision and mission statements. The assessment of the institute's vision and mission statements will be done in criterion 10. Okay, so like this, for all the criteria and sub-criteria, what exactly they are looking for, that is given here, a breakup. So if you follow this cheat sheet, then obviously I am very much certain that you will be able to prepare yourself more comprehensively. Okay, so this was the yes, do you have any question? Anyway, so this was the first thing in the documents, which whatever important. Next, this format of the visit report, these are not that much important, but I'll show you later on. Okay, so next important thing is this list of documents to be verified during the visit. So what are the things to be verified? There are some documents which are institution specific. Okay, so what are these things? Like composition of the general council or board of governors, senate, or other academic or administrative bodies. Like we have academic council instead of senate. Okay, so there are functions, responsibilities, etc. List of meetings, minutes of the meetings held in past 3 years, along with attendance records and action taken with these the governing bodies. Rules and policies and procedure published by the institution, including service book. Yeah, this is very much important. They may ask you anytime, show us the service book. Even in some cases, they can ask that whether the sufficient salary is given to the particular faculty or staff. Okay, so they can look into anywhere. Academic regulations, along with the proof that employees or students have been made aware of the rules and procedures. This is another important aspect. Say you have your institute's mission and vision. Whether the students know all this or not, it is the responsibility of the institute. You have to publish the mission and vision, all the stakeholders. Okay, and they can ask the students randomly, okay, tell me about this, that what is the vision of your department. Okay, so they can ask any faculty member or staff member as well. Okay, and not only the vision mission, but also the rules and procedures. Budget allocation and utilization. This is another important aspect. Okay, say for this academic year, I have allocated say 10 crores of budget for say this mechanical engineering department. Okay, and I have spent say only 3 crores. And then next academic year, what I did, then instead of 10, I have to improve the quality. That's why what I'll do is I'll allot 12 crore. But how much I spend? Say only again 2.9 or 3 crore. Okay, so then you will not be able to justify that why that you're spending this very few amount, but you are allocating this much amount, and this allocation is getting increased, but spending is getting decreased. So there should be the parity. Okay, so proper planning should be there, and we have to showcase the documents related to this planning as well as utilization. Then informative websites and its address, library resources, books and journals holdings, list of core computing and manufacturing, etc. Records of training placement, very much important. Career and guidance cells, record of safety checks and critical installments. This is another important aspect. Say you have you're following the fire safety norms or not, that your buildings are constructed as per all the safety things or not. Medical care records and uses of ambulance, etc. Medical academic calendar. Another important aspect, schedule of tutorial and makeup classes. There will be some students who will not be able to cope up with the conventional other students. So there will be some poor performance. Okay, so we need to take some necessary measure for improvement of the performance, and we have to show some proof that yes, we have done something for improving the performance of the particular students. Course files containing course materials, expected course outcomes, another important aspect. Okay, course outcomes of all courses has to be like make ready. You have to have the course outcomes always ready with you, like the teacher, whoever is involved, sets of question papers, assignments, evaluation schemes, etc. For not only for the first year, for all the students. Analysis for assessment and attainment of course outcomes, list of additional topics to meet the outcomes. There is one thing in the SAR that you have to find the gap in the that curriculum provided you are following. Okay, if you are affiliated to some university, and you don't have the power to change the curriculum, then you have to inform the university that these are the CO or these are the PO you are not able to achieve by following this curriculum. So it may be requested to that includes some specific topics so that the particular POs are that like achieved in this curriculum. Okay, and if you are having that like if you're an autonomous university or institute, then you have to do the necessary thing. And if that it is not possible to change the curriculum, existing curriculum, then what you have to do? You have to take some additional classes. You have to do some extracurricular activities, teach some additional topics. That document you have to show. Like I have told you that industry institute interaction and whatever the CO we have achieved from that interaction, we have to showcase that. Feedback form, analysis of feedback and corrective actions, documented feedback received from the stakeholders. Okay, not only that in pen and paper you have to take the feedback, but there must be documentary evidence of the feedback we are collecting from all the stakeholders. List of faculty along with their qualifications, results of first year students. Yeah, for results of first year students in the SR also they will be asking separately. Documents related to number of seats filled in first year. You have to show not only first year but all the academic years. So those were the institute specific criteria. Now comes the program specific criteria. So what are those? Like each program for which an institution seeks accreditation must have these things in place. At least these things. There might be some more extra, but at least these documents should be with you. Like NBA accreditation reports of the past visits, if any. I said this is very much important. If there is any NBA accreditation report of the past visit, you have to keep it ready, and they will obviously ask that what are the actions taken based upon the recommendation of the past visit. Departmental budget allocations at least 3 years, and the budget allocation should be like rational. Okay, admission, not only you have to allocate the budget, but also you have to spend. Admission or seats filled and ranks. List of number of students who cleared the program in last 4 years. Okay, in 4 years, last 3 years data. Average grade CGPA, then placement and higher studies data. Not only placement, but what the students, if the students are doing some higher study, professional society activities, say IEEE, some student chapter are there, or some events, conferences, it is etc. are organized. Those details we have to showcase. List of students, papers, along with hard copies of the publications. Okay, I said that not only you have to tell the or showcase the R&D activities of the faculty members, but also the students, if they have published any papers or involved in any activity, say technical event or professional society, publications, magazine, etc., etc. All these documentary evidences must be showcased. Okay, sample based and average project reports and thesis. Okay, project report and thesis. You have to. You can have a departmental library, and there we can keep those project report and thesis. Okay, and we can identify that these are the best reports, and we can show it to the evaluators team. Details of faculty student ratio, that calculation S by F, you have to show to like you have to keep that document ready. Faculty details with their service books, salary details. Okay, not only service books, salary details, sample appointment letters. Okay, some of the appointment letters, promotional or award letters, certificates, etc. Like whatever the things you are doing for the improvement of the faculty's performance, and if that faculty has went through some faculty development programs like this you are attending right now, all that details have to be showcased. Faculty list with designation, qualification, data joining, publication, R&D interaction, etc. Number of projects faculty is running currently, list of faculty publications along with the DOI, okay, and citation details. Nowadays, people are looking for H index or I10 index, okay, or people are looking for Scopus profile or ResearchGate profile, okay, and ResearchGate scores, Scopus scores, etc. So, list of R&D and consultancy projects with approval and project completion reports, list of proofs of faculty interaction with the outside world. Okay, outside world means not outside the world in Mars or Venus. It is like outside your institute or outside your country. What are the joint programs you are having? Okay, list of classrooms, faculty rooms, list of program-specific labs and computing facilities within the departments, non-teaching staffs, and the appointment letters, STTPs, and workshop arranged, and course modules. Nowadays, MOOCs course are becoming famous. So, how many MOOCs course your faculty members has developed? How many workshops, STTPs we have taken? Records of new programs and new program specific facility if created. Suppose I have our department has developed a virtual lab in welding technology. Okay, so if new facilities like this have been developed, we can showcase that. Records of overall program specific improvements, curriculum, POs, MNV statements, mapping of CO, PO, PSO, all this. Yeah, obviously you have to already you have to do it, and you have to give the documentary evidences for this. Course files, plan of course delivery, question papers, answer scripts, assignments. Not only you have to give assignment marks, but that assignments you have to keep some copies. Okay, list of laboratory experiments, reports, rubrics, very much important. That rubrics developed to validate the PO and PSO, not only the PO and PSO, but also rubrics in laboratory assessment. They may ask you to see that. Improvement in curriculum for mapping of PO, PSO, direct and indirect assessment to show attainment of PO, PSO. In that attainment calculation part, it will be covered that there are both direct and indirect assessment to show the attainment of PO and PSOs. Okay, so in the direct one you are getting from that exams, but for the indirect one is quite tricky, that you have to take some feedback surveys and all. Analysis of assessment and attainment of courses, actions identified for the improvement and their impact analysis, stakeholders involvement, budget allocation and utilization, etc. Last one, the chairpersons of evaluation team will submit the following documents: visit report of the chairperson and the evaluation report duly filled out, declaration, self-declaration form, and a feedback form to be filled by the members. The team should ensure that no document related to the visit is left with the. So now I'll quickly show you this chairman's report, because already it is 2:20, and all these things are available in the NBA website. See, chairman's report part A. Okay, so not only the evaluation team, but chairman separately will award some marks here. Okay, like with respect to the different criteria, the chairman will submit his or her marks. Okay, so this is the simple report. Okay, and there are various parts of the chairman's report. So here is part B. There are also criteria wise that some marks has to be submitted by the chairman. And part C, there will be some declaration, I guess. Yes, there will be some declaration that whatever the documents, things submitted by chairman, it is with best of his or her knowledge, etc. Okay, evaluators visit report. So this is the report the evaluators team is going to submit, not the chairman. Okay, and so like whatever the things you have submitted in the SAR and whatever the things they have verified, that they are going to showcase here. Okay, and some strengths, weakness, improvement, some other observations, so they are going to submit here. Okay, program specific criteria like mission, etc, etc, all these, the total marks they are going to submit. Okay, and finally there will be declaration. Okay, and in the part B of the evaluators report, same thing, this evaluators guidelines I have shown you. This is related to the evaluators guideline. Okay, so you have submitted something in the SAR and they will judge, and the judging criteria already given in the evaluators guideline. As per the criteria, they will judge, again recheck and submit along with the justifications. Okay, so and evaluators report part C, this will be another declaration simply. Okay, so and in between one more thing is there, pre-visit report. So this pre-visit evaluation report, so there also like whenever you are submitting your SAR and this pre-qualifier, so they are going to check quickly that whether this institute is that sufficiently, this institute has sufficiently worked for achieving that NBA accreditation or not, and what exactly they will be checking and making their mind before coming into your institutions. So those things are given here. So if you can do this exercise, like basically what they have found out, they have found out the gaps here. Suppose mission and vision statements you have submitted in the SARs. So if you have submitted, then availability, yes. Appropriateness, if the mission and vision statement of the department is appropriate and it is as per, it is matching with the institute's M and V, then here, okay. Adequacy, that adequacy of documentary evidence, whatever you are claiming, if you have submitted necessary documents, then okay. Otherwise, they will recheck. Okay, they will write here documentary evidence to be provided. Points of interactions with the stakeholders. So if they found some error here or some doubt, they will rewrite that and they will clarify that during the time of visit. So if you carry out this exercise beforehand, so then you will be able to find out the gaps in your SAR. Okay, and I am certain that nobody will tell you these specific things. Okay, so and these things, even there is something called chairman pre-visit report also. This was the evaluators team, and this is from the chairman. So chairman will study the SAR and pre-qualifier you have submitted, and they will be, he or she will be finding out some points to be clarified while during the time of visit. Okay. So anyway, so this is all about this evaluators guideline and the documentary evidences which you need to prepare. Okay. So I can see one comment is, please provide this list of documents to be provided in, to be prepared in the NBA. Already I have sent this presentation material to Varsha madam, and these things are available in the NBA website. Okay, all these things are available in the NBA website. I'll just show you quickly. NBA.org, you just visit there. nbaindia.org, in the download section, see top right, downloads, and here accreditation documents. You click it, so you'll be getting all these things. And this user manual, if you click here, user manual for diploma for tier 1 or tier 2. And in the user manual, this list of documents are given. It should be at the end. Yes. Page number 111. List of documents or records to verify during the visit. Okay, so these are the things I was talking about. So everything is available in this MBA website, and this SAR, chairman's report, evaluation guideline, whatever I was showing to you, all these are available here. You need to just check that whether it is the latest format or not, because time to time they are going to update it as per their requirement. And sometimes it may happen that in the online form portal, they may asking something extra. So you need to be careful about that. So thank you very much. If you have any question, you are welcome related to whatever I have discussed or anything else also.
Yes, participant, any questions are there? Then you can put in chat box. Sir, please see the chat box, sir. One question is there.
Yeah. Can we consider science humanities? Yes, we can consider science and humanities faculty in the faculty retention or this faculty student ratio. Okay. See, in the SCR or pre-qualifier, or there is a bottom where I just come back there.
Hello, Varsha madam.
Yes, sir.
Just one question was there.
Yes, sir. Please ask.
Sir was asking about telling about the evaluation and all that. I just wanted to ask you, sir, about the different types of formats for the feedback, which is especially used for indirect assessment.
Yes.
So, is there any standardization has done in the feedback forms? Because I just came to know that everybody is designing their own feedback, different methods of feedback, different points they have mentioned. Even I have visited some websites of different colleges. Everybody is putting different points in different feedbacks. Whereas if the aim is same for all the people, then why it is not standardized so far, sir, feedback form?
Sir, see this feedback form, it is, as far as I remember, it is open to all. And see, what are the parameters you are going to judge through the feedback? It is completely depends on that particular faculty. Even see, CO, regarding the CO, you'll ask that, sir, let me just finish. You'll ask that, sir, suppose I am teaching, say, strength of materials or mechanics.
Okay.
To my students at the state of Andhra Pradesh. Okay.
Okay. Sir.
Or state of Maharashtra. And in the state of Maharashtra, so we are under, say, some state technical university. So everyone should have same CO, right?
Right.
For a particular course. But is it like happening? No, because what are the things which I can expect? It is completely dependent on my stakeholders' opinion. What the stakeholders? My society, my students, faculty, industry, everyone as a whole together decides how we should perform. Okay. Say suppose in Maharashtra there is a demand of automobile sector or Pune. So I'll be obviously teaching the subjects related to that. Okay. Even inside a particular subject, it can be taught in different angles. Okay, in which angle I should teach that, my society will tell me. So similarly, In West Bengal or even inside the West Bengal, some district will follow something, some other district will follow something else. In the same way, your feedback goes like whatever the things you are going to follow, it is the complete judgment of that particular faculty member who is teaching that particular subject, or even in the departmental level, you can decide. Okay, format might be similar, but it
So that means
cannot be
it's a full
same.
freedom is given.
It is impossible. Okay, sir. Any other question?
Okay.
Sir, one more question is
Thank you
there.
very much, sir. Thank you.
In chat box, one more question.
Yeah, chat box coming back. Okay, so regarding this faculty-student ratio, Bisalji is asking that whether we can consider the faculty members from humanities or not. Yes, we can consider if a faculty of science or humanities is teaching in multiple departments, so fractional ratio we can consider. Say I have 100 classes, or say I have 10 classes in a week, and out of 10 classes, 5 classes I'm taking in department A, and 2.5 classes I'm taking in department B, and another 2.5 in department C. And this example is given in the blank HAR as well. So according to that, 50%, 0.5 will be the weightage of that particular faculty member in department A, 0.25 department B, 0.2 department C. Okay. And next question is, sorry, how does we calculate the number of students in SFR? Sir, can you just clarify like number of students? Let me just show you this blank format. See, number of students, it is given here that in the current assessment year, total number of students, including say in the first year, you have X number of students. In the second year, you have Y number of students. In the third year, maybe you have Z number of students. So year wise, you have to calculate the total number of students and the corresponding faculty student ratio. Say in the first year, current assessment year, so total number of students N. Okay. So in the second year, it may be something else. In the second year, it may be N plus X, because maybe in the second year, some entry from some lateral entry students will come in. Okay, so it may increase the total number of students. So similarly, some faculty may leave the institution and some faculty may come in the institution, sorry, in the second year, and in the third year also it may happen. Okay. So simply the total number of students present in that particular academic year and total number of faculty present in that particular academic year. Next question is the number of faculty in SFR and faculty comply? See, again I'll come back to the presentation where that department wise, so this is the slide, department wise faculty student ratio, it is given. Okay, see for easy it is 25:1 and 15:1 for 3 years and 5 years. Again, whatever is that faculty student ratio, if you are fulfilling, say it is 25:1, if you are able to fulfill this, then you will be getting the 100% marks, whatever it is allotted for this. If you are not able to fulfill this, then you will be getting less than that. As simple as that. Yeah, obviously there will be some breakup. Say if it is 25:1, you will be scoring say 5 out of 5. If it is say 30:1, then say 3 out of 5. So like this, there will be some breakup, and that breakup can be checked from the evaluators guidelines. This evaluation guideline I have shown you. To find out the evaluation guideline, here if you see faculty information, see here student faculty ratio, marks to be given proportionally for a maximum of 20 to a minimum of 10 for average SFR between 20 to 25. Okay. and 0 for SFR higher than 25 SFR. And how much you are going to score, that is given. Say your SFR is less than 15, then you will score 20 out of 20. Okay, if it is 17, then you will be scoring 18. 19, 16, like this. If 25, then you can score 10 marks. Okay, so see, this thing is not available in the what is that called, blank SAR. You have to go through the evaluation guideline. Okay, so there it is clearly mentioned that how much marks you will be getting to maintain the particular faculty student ratio. Okay, I guess you wanted to know this, right? Vishalji?
Hello, sir. Thank you.
Ji. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Another question, how SFR ratio find out diploma 420? Sir, I'm not getting your question. Can you please?
420 student is there.
Yes.
And we have 48 number of staff.
Okay.
In different discipline. How it is find out?
Sir, say suppose the total number of faculty members, say in you are considering say diploma in civil engineering. Okay, so here you are not applying for the whole institution. NBA is for that particular program. So you may have 420 students, but maybe for your civil engineering department maybe 100. In mechanical maybe another 100. In another computer science maybe another 100. Okay, say let us consider 100 students is there in the department of civil engineering. Okay, and in the department of civil engineering, say 20 faculty members are there.
Yeah.
It's faculty student ratio, not faculty staff ratio.
Yeah.
So in this year, say this is the current assessment year, number of student 100, number of faculty say 20. So
yeah.
Faculty student ratio 100 by 20 you can calculate easily. Say maybe in the COI -1 last year say 100 was say 98, student was 98, and faculty was also say 26.
Yeah.
So then similarly you can calculate. And one of the catch is, so not only you have to consider the faculty of civil engineering department, but also you have to consider if some faculty of say science, he or she is teaching in your department. How? Say science faculty is teaching civil, mechanical, electrical, all. Say you have, let me just draw it here. You'll understand then.
Okay, thank you.
Say science faculty, the total faculty in civil 20, and science department is having one faculty. This faculty is teaching in civil, electrical, as well as mechanical. In civil, this faculty is giving 50% of his or her load, and in electrical, say 25%, or 20% mechanical, 30%. So load distribution will be 0.5, 0.2, and here 0.3. Okay, so total faculty now in your department is how much? In civil 20.5. okay, student is how much? Say 96. Faculty student ratio is how much? This one. Okay, so this is for 1 year. In the COI M1 you have to calculate this number will obviously change, and similarly for the contractual faculty members also, if they are teaching there for more than 2 semesters, you have to consider them.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Any more question?
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Can I ask one question?
Yeah, please.
Sir, I just want to ask one thing. Our institute was running with second shift. Now the second shift is closed. when I go on calculating the SFR, in that case, what happens? I don't have first year entry for second shift. Okay, but there are students in third year for second shift. So how to consider those students, whether according to the sanction intake of second shift or just a class, and how to calculate them in my SFR?
Madam, I'm not getting the question. So you said that in this semester there is no student.
Yeah, second shift has been closed by institute. Okay.
Okay.
So there is no admission in the first year. Okay. Now, but the third year of second shift has students, because previously we were running with second shift.
Okay.
So our institute has regular third year students in second shift, but there is no entry in second shift for first year.
Okay.
Okay. So how to calculate SFR considering the second shift, or I just have to leave the second shift and calculate SFR only for the regular first shift?
Madam, see, I cannot leave it. So there is some option for shifts. Okay, when you are going to fill up this total number of students, so shift 1 or shift 2 is there. So even say you are considering for the program, say Bachelor's of Technology in Electrical Engineering. Okay, so this is the current academic year. In the current academic year, you do not have any student in the second shift, but you have student in the first shift. Right?
You're right.
And in the last academic year, you had student in the second shift, but you did not have any student in the first shift.
No, we have students in first shift. First shift is regular. We are doing the admissions for first shift all the years. But for the second shift, we have closed with second shift. And that's not a problem.
Yeah, then there is a problem. But to my understanding, you have to mention related to the details of the second shift in the last year, as well as like CAY M1 as well as M2. Okay, and you have to consider both. Okay, say for the time being, I'm considering both first shift and second shift I'm running. Okay, so for both the shift, I have to calculate the SFR. Okay, you cannot omit anything.
Okay, but if I have closed with second shift, now.
This year you have closed. You declare that this year there is no student in the second shift.
Yes, Mrunal ma'am, I have answer for this, sir. Sir, can I, sir?
Yes,
please.
Yeah.
Ma'am, recently now second shift is closed. So whatever number of students you are having in first shift, or the combining first and second shift, so that regular shift, that you have to consider to calculate the SFR calculation, because SFR is always based on the year-wise calculation. Whatever number of faculties are taking the load of your department, that number of faculties load you have to consider as F, and the number of students admitted in this current year, that is only the N. So N divided by N will become the SFR.
I didn't get, madam. What about the
you are saying what you are saying, ma'am? Last year you are having the second shift in third year.
Yes.
But now this year, first shift is first year. In first year, the second shift is not there.
Yes.
So how to calculate the SFR, na?
Correct.
Yes. So the SFR is calculated based on the number of students admitted currently you are having, divided by the number of faculties taking the load of 18 hours. Okay.
Yes.
So whatever number of faculties now you are having, that will become your F, and the number of N is the number of students. So whatever number of students currently you are having for this year, that will become the N itself. So N divided by F will become your SFR.
No, that's okay, madam. But while calculating the N, whether I have to consider the whole intake of second shift or just the class which I have?
Madam, it's not about the intake, it's about the number of students present.
Number of students, yes.
Actual number of students. So against the intake of 120, if I have got only 90 students, then I should consider
whatever actual number of students. It is asked about the intake. Even if you see that blank form, it is written that the exact number of students present. Okay, the intake minus absent means total number of students present. That is your N.
Yes, ma'am. Whatever number of students enrolled for this year, that you have to consider for N for SFR calculation.
Okay, so it will be a very good value then.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Madam, as per AICTE, Varsha madam,
Yes,
we have
sir.
to consider the normal intake. As per intake, you have to
Sir,
calculate.
there is a difference, sir. In some criteria, N is depending on the intake. And for SFR calculation, N is not depending on your intake, sir. Actual admitted students currently enrolled, that we have to consider for SFR calculation, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Many a times I have heard about sanction intake only. That's why I was.
Yeah, you are right. But here,
Yes.
for this SFR, it is clearly written.
Yes, clearly it is written, ma'am.
Okay. Okay then. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So shall I conclude, sir?
Ma'am,
No,
I have a question, ma'am.
yeah, if any question is there.
Yes, it has.
Please,
Ma'am,
please.
it is related to the criteria number 5, related to the faculty contribution. Okay, so can you enlighten some part related to the revenue generation and consultancy in the faculty?
Javed sir, there is a separate session on criteria 5, sir. On that session, if you will ask, then it will be beneficial for me also and for the expert also, sir.
Okay.
Because now it's 2:37, sir.
Okay.
So it's better to.
No, okay, so it's okay. Quickly, I can answer this one.
Yes, okay, sir. Please proceed.
For revenue generations, like it can be anything. Okay. So you can have some R&D consultancies. You can say suppose your institutions are having some what is that called, equipments as well as machines, right? So you can use those equipments and machines to like say right now what we are doing. So we have partnered with some of the industries. So they do not have scanning electron microscope, even they do not have metallurgical microscope. They are bringing their samples to us and we are charging them. Okay, and this model is followed everywhere because in the academic institutions, whatever the instruments we are having, that many industries may not have. This is one thing. Another R&D project, I said that in a lot of like faculty members can write for research and development projects, and there are various agencies including this AICTE and GST and all. Okay, so we can ask them and we can ask for funding, and if the project gets approved, we are going to make some money. Okay, and then comes, say you can have some what is that called, say you can have some your manufacturing plant. Say in our welding center we have the capacity of around 12-15 machines here. Okay, so we are also involved in some of the manufacturing activities, and not only us, there are some other institutions also doing like that. Okay, you can like collaborate with some other institutions, or you can like develop your own startups. Even IIT is also doing that. They have formed their own startup and they are manufacturing some, they are converting the ideas into the product. Okay, and they are marketing those products as well as the ideas. Okay, and even like say now you know that there are a lot of MOOCs courses development. Okay, even this faculty, you can have your own faculty development program, or you can have your own MOOCs program, and it can be taught to other institutes as well as the industries. So whatever your strength, you have to use to get some earning out of it. Okay.
Okay.
So any more question? Though it will be discussed in the criteria 5, you can like get the method then. Any more question?
So no questions are there. Shall I conclude, sir?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So in this student faculty guidelines, sir has discussed that in India, the NBA follows the Washington Accord. The Washington Accord defines the graduate attributes. For graduate attributes, program doesn't matter. For all the programs, the graduate attributes defines program outcome, that is PO. Washington Accord developed in 1989 for UG engineering degree program, and in India extended to diploma and management program. Then Washington Accord in India, it is represented by NBA in 2014. There are two tiers, Tier 1 and Tier 2. Tier 1 includes all the autonomous university, institutes, deemed university, including private and government. And Tier 2 includes the non-autonomous institute, including government and private. So also discuss the different graduate attributes for UG and diploma. So discuss the COs, that is course outcome must be student focused. The alignment between the course program and institution levels is required. The focus on abilities central to the discipline, the aspect of learning, and limited to manage the number. So discuss so also demonstrate the guidelines available on NBA portal. Then the institute level criteria assessed by the chairman of team, program level criteria assessed by the other team members. So also discuss overview of institute and program level criteria. So elaborate on the guidelines required for student faculty ratio, the marking scheme for faculty contribution to the department. So discuss the documents required, documents provided by the NBA to evaluation team, and the documentary evidences to be kept ready by the institute. Then sir also discussed that if there is an increase or decrease in intake, then it must be included in that in the SAR document. And how to calculate the student faculty ratio, that is also discussed by sir. The regular faculty load can be considered if faculty join before 31st August of the same year. Then SFR, the guidelines for SFR, what will be applicable for accreditation. So SFR for UG engineering program, it is 25:1 for 3 year of accreditation and 15:1 for 6 year of accreditation. For PG engineering, it is 25:1 for 3 year of accreditation. For diploma, 30:1 for 3 year of accreditation. For PG management program, 25:1 for 3 years and 15:1 for 6 years of accreditation. And for UG pharmacy program, for 20:1 is for 3 years and 15:1 for 6 years of accreditation. So also this demonstration on the SAR document filling and the documents provided by NBA to the evaluation team, which includes the pre-qualifier SAR evaluation guidelines, format of visit report, visit schedule, the list of documents to be verified during the visit, and the self-declaration and feedback form for the chairperson and the evaluator. We need to keep the meeting held in the past 3 years, along with the student record, the minutes, and the action taken report. So all these things are discussed by Dr. Arpan Kumar Mondal sir. On behalf of Government Polytechnic Thane, I'm thankful to you, sir, for conducting this session. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you all. If you are having any more doubts, you can reach me anytime. You have my email ID.
Yes.
So thank you all.
Yes, I will share, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. So here I declare the day 2 session is concluded. I request all the participants to leave this meeting. You will receive the feedback link at 4 o'clock. Thank you so much, all the participants.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, we have not
Thank you, madam.
getting the feedback link yesterday.
I shared, sir, in WhatsApp group, sir.
Okay.
Can you please tell me your name, sir? Who is not getting the link? The feedback link will be shared in that WhatsApp group. If anyone is not getting the feedback link, then please send me the email. I will give the feedback link on your mail ID also. Thank you, everyone.